Hey, everybody. Welcome to a very special whiskey. I'm so used to saying Whiskey Wednesday, Whiskey Thursday night here on the Mass and Drum. I figure tonight I would be going through my 2024 Rye Whiskey of the Year blind tasting because I wasn't able to go live yesterday because it being New Year's Day and I wasn't here. I figured tonight would be a great night to kind of do my Rye Whiskey of the Year, kind of go through it. I know it's not my normal time, but I also know that there's, other whiskey tubers that go live, later in the night. So I wanted to try to do this earlier than my usual slot. So that's why we're doing it here at 7 o'clock. Seems a little bit early. It's kind of weird doing it at 7, but we are here. So thanks for everybody for coming in on this, and happy New Year. We are in the year 2025, which is crazy to think about it. 2025. I remember when everyone was freaking out when it was going to be 2000 and the whole Y2K madness. And don't go to a gas station. Don't use gas pumps. Don't use all the ATMs are going to freak out, start spitting out money. There's so many conspiracy theories that just never happened. But really incredible. 25 years since then. 2025 going to be a big year, I think, for me personally, and for whiskey. It'll be an interesting year, I think, for whiskey as we come down the line. Where do how do buying habits kind of factor into the year in 2025? We've seen a slowdown in buying, especially towards the end of this year. So, well, no, we'll see what happens. Should be an interesting year, but that is for another night, another discussion. Tonight, we are talking about our 2024 Rye Whiskeys of the Year. I know, mainly the bourbon gets all the big headlines, and I totally get that. But I think Rye Whiskey this year, or I should say in 2024, was big. There was a lot of just great Rye Whiskeys that came out. We saw a lot of big Rye Whiskey special releases that came out from big producers. We also saw some malt whiskeys, a lot of finished ryes, and you could kind of argue that rye maybe had an even better year than bourbon did. But there was just a lot of good ryes out there in 2024. So coming up with this list was a little bit difficult because not only, I don't know about you guys, and you can let me know in the chat. Ryes are kind of a weird thing for me. There can be very expensive ryes on the market, kind of like a Wild Turkey Triumph. And I got that bottle to review, but I never bought one because I didn't think it was worth a $300 rye whiskey. Was it good? Yes. I didn't think it was an exceptional rye whiskey. Kind of thought it was good. It was a sweet Kentucky rye, good age on it, but it didn't really blow me away. So I didn't buy it. So you won't see Triumph from here tonight. I did include E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof in here just because whatever. I spent money on it, so I'm just going to throw it in the mix, see how it does. I don't expect it to do well. It's not really, it's kind of one of the big bummers this year. I think a lot of people are kind of sharing that sentiment, but I just wanted to throw it in there, make it an even 16. But there were a lot of great ryes this year, so we'll see what happens. A lot of interesting brands here. I know somebody, I think someone put in there, no Corbin Cash this year. Yeah, E.H. Tater, I didn't get like a standard Corbin Cash release. So let me just go through the rules and regulations of how I do these end of the year tastings, because I think everyone does it a little bit differently. Some people include media samples. I do not. And the reason why I don't include media samples is because if I get a media sample, I'm usually drinking it, testing it out. And if I'm not too crazy about it and I don't want to buy a bottle, I'm not going to include it. Now, if a media sample is great, normally I will buy a bottle. And if I own the bottle and have the bottle, I will include it in the end of the year tasting. I generally only will put in bottles that I own and I've gotten to enjoy over the course of the year or even later in the year. But I just like to have that bottle in hand to enjoy. Secondly, I don't include single barrel picks or group single barrels in these at all. These are just 2024 new releases that were released from various distillers and NDPs across the spectrum. And these are the ones that I were able to get my hands on, the ones that I really enjoyed. A couple of these I bought backups for, so I'm curious to see how it does in the blind tastings. And yeah, and that's really it. Rye whiskey of the year, oxymoron. No, only joking. Each to their own. I can't vibe with rye. Yeah, time for a dram. I think I just kind of alluded to that earlier. Some people just don't have a rye whiskey sentiment and that they really share, that they really like. So I think tonight will be interesting to kind of go through some of these, maybe even introduce you to a couple of brands that you haven't tried yet, or a couple of other rye whiskeys. So let's see. I somehow got a handy this year, and it didn't even make Jason's list as Connor W. So Connor, that's because I did not get a handy this year. Now, if I got a Thomas H. handy, yeah, it would have been in here. But I spent enough money trying to get the William Lou Weller and the George T. Stagg. So I probably maybe should have tried to get a Thomas H. handy. They're usually not that expensive, but it's one of those whiskeys that I just didn't go crazy for. Let's see. Happy New Year, guys. Let's say do a couple people in the chat here before we get started. Ham Turkey likes the 7 p.m. time slot. It's weird for me. I like it to be epic. I like it to be a little bit later. I'm reading Randall's already. This will be epic. Too bad the Grinch has been closeted. Yeah, Grinch is actually sitting on the couch over there. I haven't quite put him away. Randall Erickson, yep, that's a lot of good ryes. Adam Hess, Whiskey Cheers, been looking forward to this one. What's up? Nathan Jurgensen is here. Jason Coates, Joey B in the house. What's up? Dave Renstrom, impressive rise in lineup. Choose everyone will be a bottle killing my Two Soul Spirits double barrel pumpernickel rye at some point. Cheers, Isaac Camacho. Nice to see you, man. Russ L is here. We got Top Jimmy. Nice to see you, buddy. Roger Reese. Cheers and Happy New Year all. Let's see. Robert W. I think I saw most of you. Hey, Giselle's Boston is here. What's going on, Jonathan? Nice to see you. Eric Snyder's here. Jay will drink in the house. Nice to see you as well. Jeff Perkins. Let's see. Kenneth Clark. Best episode of 2025. Yeah, so far. Norman Conklin is here. Griff is in the house. What's up, Griff? We've got Adam Hinson. WD Hare is here. EMC. What's going on, Emily? Nice to see you as always. Tony Nelson is here. Yeah, they're. I had to kind of clean out the whiskey room for my end of the year show. So it's a little hard to do the lighting for the bottles when you have Christmas lights everywhere. Junior Lindemood. Junior Lindemood is here. First time. It's the first time I've seen your name. Welcome in, Junior. Nice to see you, buddy. Sean Ortega is here. I think we'll get to 100K this year. It's the channel's been still steadily increasing, so happy with that. Jason Pruitt is here. Haystack Needle Rye in the Glen tonight. Somebody told me about that one, but wasn't able to get a bottle of that either, unfortunately. Matt T107 is here. Let's see. Truman, first time catching a live stream. Happy New Year all. EH Tater said hi to you. Truman, Lucan is here. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate it. Christopher David is here. What's going on, Chris? Silent Todd, Tony Nelson. Hey, Sanchez here at work. No drinks for me, so enjoying a cup of ginger ale. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like when you kind of go live earlier, you get the West Coast people that are literally still at work to some degree. So let's see here. John B, time for dram. Whiskey Nose in the house. What's going on, man? JD Fritches up, hombre. My neighbor gave me a handle a couple nights ago. Very good sip. All right. Wasn't sure where that was going, JD, but I'm glad it ended with a sip. The Corbin Cash pick from last year for the group didn't release yet, right? No, William Wiley, we have a Corbin Cash pick coming, but yeah, that one is actually on its way. Like it'll be soon. That'll probably release in January, William. So if you're waiting for it, it's coming soon. So Brad Tanik is here and a bunch of other people coming in. All right. Jason C. mailed your Haystack Needle sample today, by the way. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. MJ Bartstown Rye. No single barrel picks are in this. So let's get into what is in the lineup tonight. We have 16 rye whiskeys, guys. 16. I think that's plenty. So if you go down the list, we have Michter's 10-year single barrel 2024 edition, Michter's barrel strength rye 2024 edition, the Pursuit United double oaked rye, Prideful Goat 8-year cask strength rye, the Two Souls double barreled pumpernickel rye, which is just basically a Middle West double barreled selection or double barreled experiment that they did that came out really good. Curious to see how that goes. Little Book Chapter 8, Path Not Taken. Sagamore 9-year rye whiskey, the Old Overholt 11-year cask strength rye from Jim Beam, the A Overholt straight rye whiskey from Jim Beam, the Colonel E.H. Taylor barrel proof rye, the Evernorth Spirit Exodus rye, batch number 2, Evernorth Spirit Arctic Spirit, Still Austin Madeira cask finished rye, the Jack Daniels twice barreled rye, the Raconteur Rye Batch 2, and the Hard Truth finished reserve rye. So those are all 16 that are in the mix tonight. So yeah, it's a lot. Would love to get another Art of the Spirits double oak pick. We'll see about that one, Mike. Maybe. So yeah, so there's a lot of picks, or a lot of, I should say, bottles in the lineup tonight. I think the Two Souls lid wheeled shut everything. Yeah, SoundTot, it does. My prediction: M10 first, Two Souls second, says Nate Jurgensen. Yeah, we will see. I think the M10 is actually really good this year, so we'll see how it goes. Again, proof factors in. We'll see. What, Chase, are you not doing a top 100? Yeah, I can't do 100. But yeah, so some other ryes that didn't quite make the cut because I did a kind of a preliminary tasting before I chose these final 16. So yeah, what else didn't make the cut? There were 2 other Hard Truths that had come out. Hard Truth just did a lot of releases this year. The double oaked one and the Master's Reserve blend, which I liked, but I actually like the finished one the best. So that one kind of made it through. Bullet 12 year, I thought, is a really good rye, but it just didn't hold up to a lot of the other ones that I had in this lineup, unfortunately. Let's see. The Regular Pursuit rye, I thought is always been solid, but their double oaked rye is just fantastic. So I'm curious to see how that's going to do in the lineup tonight. Yeah, my Masters Keep Triumph didn't make it Britannica because I never bought one. I never thought it was good enough for $300 for me. And remember, I said this last year. I said I was going to be much more selective on what I buy this year, or last year, whatever I want to say, in 2024. And I was. I think that a lot of the bottles that came through, I just didn't buy them to buy them. I was able to borrow a couple bottles here and there, see if I wanted to buy them. I had multiple opportunities to buy Masters Keep Triumph, but I just could not pull the trigger of buying that rye for $325, $330, whatever it was with tax, just because I thought it was a good rye. I just didn't think it was a great rye. So, but again, my personal preference, even though I love Wild Turkey, I know people are probably like, what the hell? Why don't you have Masters Keep Triumph in the mix? But I blinded Masters Keep Triumph way back when I had it. It just never really did well. I don't know what it was about it. It just didn't do that well for me. I think my palate with rye whiskeys has just gotten very hyper focused on certain things that I look for. And for me, even though Masters Keep Triumph had a lot of sweet flavors, a lot of oak, it was very rich. Just for a rye whiskey of that age, the finish just lacked for me. And I'm like, a rye whiskey should have a very long, I don't know, really layered finish, and it just didn't. So that's why it didn't make it. Jeffrey Wack says, I passed on the Triumph too. I would have bought it at 175. Yes, Jeffrey Wack, if that bottle was 175 to 200 all day long, I would have bought that bottle. But for 300, no. I literally just got a pick that actually we did a pick that we released to our group, Match and Journey Whiskey Club. It's an 8-year Wild Turkey ride, 101 proof. 8 years old. Only 2 years younger than Masters Keep Triumph. Only a few proof points less than Masters Keep Triumph. And it was $80. So 300. I mean, I know they're selecting very special barrels and kind of putting that in there, but I couldn't do it for 300. I feel like I'd be, just buying it to do the end of the year thing, and I just wasn't going to do that. So, yeah. Any recommendations for the new American single malt whiskey designation? Andrew Setzer, as far as American single malt, I'll tell you what, I know it's an expensive bottle, but the Westward Milestone is probably one of the best American single malts. It's definitely the best American single malt I had in 2024, the Westward Milestone. And then on top of that, as far as just, some really good single malts in general, I do like what Westward is doing. But really my favorites are out of Cedar Ridge, the Quintessentials. Cedar Ridge Quintessentials, probably my favorite American single malt right now. The stuff that they're doing out of Cedar Ridge in Iowa, it's incredible. McCarthy's is doing great American single malts as well. Yeah, those are kind of my tops. Yeah, all the Westward stuff is good. Triumph was a disappointment after the Unforgotten. I absolutely agree, Todd Ritter. I loved Unforgotten, but there was something just missing to the Triumph for me. The amount of $200 plus bottles showing up on the market is sickening. The diminishing returns on most things over 100 is real. Yeah, a lot of disappointing bottles over 200 plus in 2024, unfortunately. Master and Drum, do you think we will any price decreases in 2025? I don't know if we'll see price decreases, Kelsey. Maybe slightly. I think we'll see less releases more likely than price decreases. So, I mean, my prediction wise, I think like, we're used to a distillery just pumping out release after release after release. Jim Beam is a big example of this. I've talked about Jim Beam a lot, and they just tend to do this constantly. But I'm not sure about them. But I've been saying now for the better part of the last couple months that I think what we're going to see is a pullback on actual special releases that are going to come out constantly. So I think instead of like 4 to 5 to 6 special releases a year from a certain brand, maybe we see 2 to 3 at most. I think the ones that do that focus on those products and make them worth the price point, I think are better set up to make a little bit more of an impact with consumers. Because if you're just churning out, because my big argument, and you guys, again, I've said this before, Jim Beam is a prime example. Jim Beam has so many great products that are on the shelf just for retail. A lot of their special releases do not exceed the quality that they have on the shelf. And that's the biggest problem with a lot of special releases. If you're going to bring out a special release, make sure it's better than what you have, just because it's disappointing to consumers. And I don't know, it's just, it can get frustrating. I only drink good old Jack. My personal top 3 ryes for 2024. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, says McCrazy Pops. Emerald Giant Cask Strength Sagamore Triple Cask. Oh, the Sagamore Triple Cask. I do have that one. I probably could have put that one in here. But I have the Sagamore 9-year in here, which I like even more. So, oh yeah, Old Line. Old Line, thank you so much, Jay Will Drink. That was the one I was trying to think in my head. Old Line is a great American single malt as well out of Maryland. Really great one. So maybe we'll see some older age bottles this year. Yeah, Sean, I think you will see a lot of NDPs coming out with older age stuff because it's out there. You will see... I don't know. It's tough to predict now because we are so used to just being like, there's going to be this whiskey, this whiskey, this whiskey, this whiskey. Now, will distillers that have scheduled releases pull back a bit? Will they have those certain brands that are, or certain bottles that they have planned to come out in 2025? Now will they hold them back because of the way the buying is going? So it's kind of hard to tell. Again, you guys know I always talk about like sneakers that I love, and you're seeing this with even Jordan brand now. Every single time Jordan brand or Nike, they've been holding back and they've been actually delaying a lot of releases because people aren't buying like they used to. It's across a lot of different industries. So we will see. Maybe people are like kind of waiting on, the next president to take office, the economy, see if it shifts, see how the tariffs go. Interest rates, that could drive a lot of it. There's a lot of factors that could go into how the whiskey market goes. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think the smart thing to do right now, honestly, if I was a distiller, I would focus less on constant releases and figure out 2 or 3 or 4 really, really good releases that you want to work on to release during the year. Hype those up, get them out, make sure that they are exquisite. They are worth whatever price point you're going to put on it, so that when we drink it, we are not disappointed. And unfortunately, that happened a lot in 2024. So, all right. Jason Cruitt, yes, we should see my drum key released this year. So we'll hopefully here in January, we should have an announcement. So stay tuned for that. Felt that way about the Bardstown collection, Jim Beam, and the Old Grandad. Yeah. Yep. Old Forester Bottled and Bond is my favorite. It says Driven Dynamics. That was actually a really good release. Well, are you talking about the Driven Dynamics? Are you talking about the 117 series, or are you talking about the regular Bottled and Bond from the Whiskey Row series? Let's see. All right. All right, guys, I think we're going to kind of dive into this. We already have almost 200 people. Not bad for an early Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday. God, I don't even know what day it is. An early Thursday night. Like I said, I want to just kind of do this and with you guys on a little bit earlier so I can because I know there are other channels that will go live a little bit later here. So I do want to get through this, and let's put a little background music on while I go through these. And I will try to interact with the chat as much as I can. Again, we have 16 samples to go through. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rate them each from 1 to 10. Just to kind of, because what happens usually is I pick out a few others and I kind of lose my train of thought. That's why I put the stickers right there on the front of the glass so I don't lose exactly what glass I'm putting where. So I know where A, B. So we have A through Q. It's a lot of blind samples here. So we'll see exactly where it goes. And I'll kind of use that scoring system just to kind of help me out. Let's see. That's a heavy night. Yep. You got me drinking before 5. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. Whiskey Dick is here. What's going on, Bill? Nice to see you. Robert Harper, Happy New Year, everyone. Watching this and then heading outside to watch the meteor shower here at my ranch in Texas near Mexico during the 2024 handy. Cheers. Got to get me a handy in 2024. This is practice for my top 100. Yeah. Oh, the Old Forester 1897. That is it's an underrated bottle and bond. And the only reason why I think that is because of the price point. So JD Fridges, I was watching the Notre Dame game and the Georgia game. My God, that game is just so it was so boring. Like the first quarter and a half, nobody could score. It was like a big tickle fight. It was awful. But yeah, Ohio State. Everybody here, obviously in Columbus, is going crazy because Ohio State freaking boat raced Oregon yesterday. So, all right, let's get some water. Actually, I meant to do a little rye primer. So I have a little Green River rye here. Let's kind of prime the palate a little bit before I get into it. Tim Cornet says, "Go blue." I mean, Tim, I know what you're saying. I know Michigan beat Ohio State, but I don't know what sort of freaking Harry Potter magic Michigan put on Ohio State. I don't know how Michigan beat Ohio State. They look like a freaking machine right now. All right. Ooh. Green River Rye's a nice little citrusy. It's like drinking Sprite. Kind of nice. He means Penn State. JD Fritches. Yeah, Penn State. I don't know. If Ohio State keeps playing the way they're playing, I don't see anybody beating them right now. But we'll see what happens. That's why they play the games, folks. Oh, well played, Eric Farrar. A primer. Listen, Eric's all over it, man. All right, I've got over 200 watching. That's awesome. Way more than I thought. So appreciate everybody for chiming in. Let's see what makes it to the finals tonight. Again, I'm going to throw up the list so anybody who is joining just now knows exactly what ryes are in the mix tonight. And again, if you're wondering why Master's Keep Triumph isn't in here or Thomas H. Handy, it's because I did not get those bottles this year. But all these bottles, I would put right up there with any of those, especially more than the Triumph. I'm sure the Thomas H. Handy is good. But I'm telling you, that Sagamore 9-year, I think probably could go right head to head with the Thomas H. Handy. I don't care what anybody says. Top Jimmy gifting 10 Mash and Drum memberships. Top Jimmy is the man. I love rye whiskey. Okay. I love the JD twice barreled rye, says Dr. Sped. Yeah, that one kind of snuck in. That thing is really good. All right, let's go to letter A. I'm not going to spend too much time on the nose here. I really want to get into the palate of each of these, start breaking them down, and see which ones make it to the end here. So here we go. Why the VDM Pumpernickel Rye? Why the VDN Pumpernickel Rye? VDN Pumpernickel Rye. Oh, the are you talking about the VDN Middle West one? Because that's a blend of bourbon and rye, and I don't know the proportions. So that actually could technically be a bourbon depending on the proportions. I don't know if it's a 50-50 blend. If it qualified more as a rye, I would have probably put it in, but yeah. All right, first one is a pretty light rye. Nice and herbal here. When will Sagamore put out an LE? They put out new releases and new finishes all the time. But you know what? I'll grab that VDN and I'll put it against the last ones and see how it does. But all right, let's try the first one, guys. Here we go. Going to be a fun night. Jay will drink. That's the Tennessee Taster. So this is the Jack Daniels that's in the mix tonight. This is the one that's in the blind. This is a 2024 release, the twice barrel rye. So Robert Harper prefers the old Overholt 10 to the 11. Okay. Oh, I thought your Middle West Pumpernickel Rye was a VDN finish that you used. So Max, it's a blend of their weeded bourbon and their rye that they finished in VDN. I don't know what the blend details are though. So I know it was, and I'll tell you what, it was in there originally, and then I took it out because I'm like, oh man, I forgot, because I thought it was a straight Pumpernickel Rye that was finished in VDN, but it's actually a blend. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the blend is. So, oh, the Sagamore meetup VDN finish. Is that what he's talking about? Yeah, that was last year. That one was incredible. Let's see. Happy New Year, Squinkstein. There it is. Sagamore drops awesome experimental distilleries exclusives. 2024 handy beats the 2023 handy. Handily. Okay. First one's nice. Actually comes off kind of light. Oh, is it in the graphic? If it was in the graphic, I meant to take it out. 2 souls, double barrel, Prideful Goat. Oh no, I don't see it in there. I'm sorry, I'm confused. Yeah, no VDN in there. Okay, here we're good. All right, so I'm gonna give A. I'll probably start off with a solid 6 here. All right, let's go to B. Oh my God, B smells incredible. Oh. B has like, oh man, that scent that just like hit my nose. Straight up. It's like barrel char. It's like root beer aged in, it's like root beer aged in barrels. Barrel aged root beer. Pepper, chocolate. Dude. Just ordered a bottle of the new Sagamore 7-year bottle and bond. Supposed to be better than the 9-year, and it's their juice. Oh yeah, that's right. Sagamore's starting to put out all their own stuff now, so it's good. Oh my God. B is ridiculous. It went from like a little hint of root beer to like this chocolate covered orange peel A little bit of mint on the back end. B is ridiculous. Yeah, I like B a lot. B is going to get... I don't want to grade it too high too soon. B might get a straight up 8 right now. 8.5. I'm going to give it that 0.5. Silent Todd, I'm going to try to avoid guessing just because you get to a point you start psyching yourself out. I just want to go off of taste. I don't really want to try to guess. I mean, maybe there is some I could maybe know what it is just off of taste, but I'm going to try to avoid that. If you guys want to guess, if you think off of what I'm tasting, we'll see if you're right. Even Sagamore's 4-year bottle bomb is incredible, like boozy orange ginger ale. Yeah, absolutely, Eric. 4-leaf, so jealous of this flight. Stacey, are you a big rye fan? All right, so this is letter C here. Letter C is definitely more rye grain forward. I get more of like that grassiness that sometimes rye can give you. Ooh. I'll tell you what. C is definitely a little bit lighter coming off of B, but it's got a completely different flavor profile. Ryes, man, like just the spectrum of flavors you get in ryes these days, it's just crazy. Oh, yeah. C almost has a kind of a sweet tobacco note on the back end. Just with like that really nice spice to it. Probably the most black pepper I've gotten out of the first 3, which is really good too. It really gives you that indication like this is a rye whiskey. This is really good. Man. Yeah, it's got... Yeah, I like C a lot. It's got all the flavors that you want in a rye, but it's not beating out B just yet. What about Powers Irish Rye? Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's very soft. That's a... Stacy kind of beat me to it. Powers Irish Rye is a really soft rye, and it does taste like bananas. She's not wrong. All right. I like C. I think I like it more than A. So I'll probably give that a 7 as we kind of go through the line here. Let's go to the D. It's time for the D. Anyone have an opinion on Old Forester single barrel rye? Says Lucan. My opinion is it's delicious. I just wish it was out more often. You just don't see it very often. I think I have a bottle here somewhere of that stuff, but I can't. I just can't remember. I have one somewhere, but it's been a while since I've even seen one. Like, have you guys seen an Old Forester rye? A single barrel cast strength rye? When's the last time you saw one? I don't even remember the last time I saw one. I'm able to grab it at retail at Total Wine near me. I guess I should scoop it up. Yeah, Lucan, I think it's worth the... It's worth the... I guess rolling the dice on it because some of them can be really good. Nathan says they are everywhere out here. Are you serious, Nate? They're everywhere? What the hell? Thanks, Kooky Cats. Pork chop, ready to go. Found one in July. Weird enough, yesterday at Market Dish. What the hell? I'm like, I haven't seen one in ages. And like, you guys are like, yeah, I found that shit yesterday. What is happening? All right, let's go to the... This is D, right? Yeah, D. Oh, tell you what, D smells delicious. So this one gets into a little bit more of like that caraway seed. Caraway, allspice, hint of fennel seed too. So a little bit of like that licoricey note, but not like that nasty black licorice jelly bean note, but more of like a fresh fennel seed. Might just be barren in Ohio. You might be right, Andrew. You might be right. Look at this. Just found one in NCABC a few weeks ago. What the hell? What's up, JG? Oh, D is really good too. D is rich. It's got the rye flavor. It's rich on the palate. It's dense. Probably the most dense out of all four so far. D for dense. Oh man, that's good. Getting cherry here. It was good in Adio says it was good in 60s, but now it's 90 at TW here in Total Wine, Total Pass for me. So just so you guys know, if you don't know this, the Old Forester Ryes are literally like 4 or 5 years old. The barrel strength ones, they are not super high age at all. Much like the barrel strength bourbons that are out there. But again, heat cycled warehouses they use kind of boost the profile. It's just not there. As far as age goes, curious which one gets this list required the most effort to get. Well, that's the other thing. I feel like my list has actually good amount of bottles you could probably maybe still get. Why did I say probably maybe? I don't know. But I think there could be a shot here. We'll see. The D is good. It's very dark. It's dense. I really like it. So I think I like that better than C. I'm gonna give that one a 7.5, a little 7.5 action. That's good. All right, let's go to E here. Have any whiskeys been eliminated? No, not yet, JG. We're just in the first wave. This is only A through E. No, sorry, A through F. We have to go all the way to Q. So you haven't really missed much. Wow, E is very peppery. DH is Michter's. Yes, Michter's 10-year is. EH Taylor barrel proof rye is in it. The Thomas H. Handy I did not get this year, so that's not in the blind. Wow, E is very... It is so rye grain heavy. I think in a good way, though. It's almost bready, spicy. You almost got like that sourdough type of like effect to it. I don't know. That one might get like kind of a 7 as well. Jack Daniel's single barrel barrel leaps above. Oh yeah, and I think Mr. Crazy Pops. I think that's really a good indication or a good way of saying it. I think that if you're gonna buy a rye from Brown-Forman, make it the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. And if you could find the warehouses that are Coy Hill warehouses, then find those, because those are the bee's knees. This is just orange lemon tea in a glass. I think that's going to get another 7. I like it. Yeah, Silent Todd. Jack Daniel's barrel proof ryes are sitting on the shelf in Ohio right now. Sitting on the shelf. I was just in the store today, and the store had a little bookcase with all of them sitting there. So, yeah, JG, Happy New Year, Jason C. Thanks for doing all you do. Whiskey, cheers. Thank you so much, JG. Cheers to you. All right, letter F. Wow, F went all lemon. Lemon custard, pepper, fennel. I don't want Jack BP rye because it isn't rare and allocated. That's a Sam Turkey. Would you rather the Michter's 10-year rye over the Michter's 10-year bourbon? This year, yes. Or 2024, yes. I think the Michter's 2024 10-year is really, really good. We'll see, where and how it shows up in here. But I thought it was really, really good this year. So curious how the 13 Colony cask strength would hold up. Your holy cannoli pick was fire, says Bourbon Experience. Yeah, it was fire. But again, I don't do single barrel picks in these. If I included single barrel rye picks in this flight, dude, this flight would be like 100 samples because there were so many good barrel pick ryes I had this year. I might have to, even some of our own picks were incredible. We did 2 Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye single barrels that were incredible. And then you have the 13 Colony one. So many good ones. And I think that's why I bought less ryes this year, because I was getting so many good picks from groups and the picks that we did on our own. So it just kind of happens. All right, so F has this nice little finish on the back end, and I'm really digging. I don't know which one that is, but it's kind of nice. Bullet 12 represent 12 to 17-year MGP at $50, says Antoine. Yeah, I totally get it. The problem with Bullet 12 for me is the proof point. At 92 proof, it's just too low. It just doesn't hold up for me. It's a great sipping rye, but I already had it in a previous blind with some of these rye whiskeys, and it just died. It just fell flat. And in order for rye for me to hold on to, I think Bullet 12, as far as like a value high age rye, it's hard to beat. But as far as like holding up in a blind, when it's that low of proof, it's not going to do it for me, unfortunately. When you're just used to drinking higher proof, like even stuff that's like 115, 117, that 92 proof Bullet 12 year is just going to fall off a cliff. But on its own, it's a great value rye for the age statement. I'll definitely give it that. Robert Harper with a $20 super chat. Let's get 2025 Sorry Ride. Love this amazing community. Thank you so much, Robert. Thanks for hanging in tonight, man. Do you have an all-time favorite rye or something you've been enjoying lately? Let's see. Little Book 8 isn't technically a rye, but it does drink enough like one. Yeah, technically. But if you look at the blend, there's only one 18-year bourbon in it. And I think that, and I guarantee, knowing Little Book, it's only a very small part of the blend. The rest of the blend is all rye. So to me, I was like, it's a rye. It also, it tastes like a rye. It drinks like a rye. I feel like it's a rye. I know technically it's not, but because I know what's in it, that's why I couldn't put the Middle West in it. But because I know what's in Little Book, I feel like I was confident enough to put this in the rye category. Max, some of the other cut, Bullet 12 I mentioned didn't make the cut. Green River Rye just didn't have enough proof for me. The Heaven Hill, the Grain to Glass one, that one didn't make it. That ride that didn't make it. What other ryes? Sazerac rye didn't. Well, no, I didn't put Saz in it. Sorry, I don't know what I was talking about. What other ryes? I had a couple toasted ryes in there that didn't make it, but you guys know me in toasted ryes. I just don't get with toasted ryes very well. Actually, I like toasted ryes over toasted bourbons, but those didn't make it. Bardstown Blitz Rye. Giselle's, I don't put picks in this lineup. No single barrel picks. Is Bardstown Amroot a rye by that definition? Is Bardstown Amroot rye? I don't know. Is Amroot mostly rye? I don't remember. How's the Sagamore Double Oak? Don't have the Sagamore 9-year available. The Sagamore Double Oaked rye is delicious. I would I would totally get that bottle. I love that rye, especially if you're not a typical rye drinker. It's a nice sweet rye. New Riff Sherry finished rye. I did not get batch 2. Batch 1 won my rye of the year a couple of years ago. I didn't get batch 2. Wasn't able to get that bottle. I heard it wasn't as good as batch 1, but I'm sure it was still pretty delicious. But yeah, didn't make that one. Oh, speaking of New Riff 8-year rye that I had earlier on did not make the cut, which was interesting. It just drank really light. I was so surprised that it didn't make it to this final 16. Because the New Year, it is the New Year, but the New Riff 8-year bourbon, I think is going to do fantastic here at the end of the year. But the New Riff 8-year rye didn't do well. That was surprising to me. Yeah, the Middle West Pumpernickels that I have were only picks. But if you look at the Two Souls double-barreled Pumpernickel rye, that's technically Middle West. So we'll see how it does. Peerless double oaked rye is phenomenal. Better than the Sagamore. Oh, dude. I probably could have put that in there. Because I think I got the double oak. Was it the double oaked rye or toasted bourbon? I don't remember. Well, maybe we'll pull that out here a little later and see how it does. But are these all on your shelf? Yeah, these are all on my shelf. Around me, floor whiskey and shelf. F is good. I'll probably give that a 6.5. All right, so that's my first round here. Let's line these up over here. A, B, C, D, E, F. All right, those are my first round of scores. Let's get some more water here. Barstown Amber to 63% MGP rye, 43% barely rye, and 20% 95.5. Oh yeah, technically it could be a rye. Shit, I didn't even realize that. Amroot probably could have been put in here. I think we have some bottles to add, guys. We'll see how this goes. All right. G H I J K. All right. Let's go with these. L. I'll add an L in there. Why not? All right, let's go to the G. Corbin Cash 1917 I did not get. But yeah, I didn't. Corbin Cash isn't available here, so I wasn't able to get that for the blind. Amroot would do well. Yeah, you know, I'll pull that one out. I don't care if I know what it is. I just want to kind of grade it. We'll see how it is. Yeah, you need at least 10 more ryes. Yeah, it's a blend of bourbons and ryes, but I guess if it's more than 50% rye, then it can be labeled as a rye. I mean, I thought that was what the rule was. If it was more than 51% rye in the blend, it could be labeled a rye technically. But I don't think Amroot tastes like a rye. But LB8 definitely tastes like a rye. Yeah, exactly. That's probably why the Amroot didn't really enter my mind as a rye. Is 2025 the year Jason C gets into Japanese whiskey? No, the proofs are too low and it's too expensive. Wow, G is extremely floral. What the hell is in that glass? Coming off the other ones, that is very, very floral. If I had one guess, I would guess maybe that's the A Overholt, that Monongahela rye, because I remember that being very floral, and I'm wondering if that's what this is. Yeah, Nathan, no Four Roses rye in the flight. Nathan's gonna start a freaking fight in the chat. What do you mean Four Roses rye? Remember when Maker's Mark had the green label and everyone thought Maker's Mark was coming out with a rye and it was like an April Fool's joke? Yeah, everybody went crazy. No ECBP toasted rye, says WD Hair. No, because I'm not really crazy about mine, to be honest. I mean, I could throw that one in the mix too. Why not? I'm gonna have to run up and get some more glasses. What do we call out? The Peerless. I gotta check if the Peerless I have is the actual toasted, is the new one that released in 2024. Actually, JD, if you're in the chat, JD, what was the bottle we traded for? Was that a bourbon or a rye? I can't remember, JD. If it was a bourbon, then it's not what I'm thinking of. If it's a rye, I can maybe use it. So JD, if you're watching, let me know what it was. Bardstown Origin Rye released last year. So I'm not that. Again, these are 2024 releases. God, that smells like straight up perfume. It is perfume, flowers. Think of the most like floral perfume you've ever had. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that one. Mash and ham. All right, let's go to H. See what we get here in H. Yeah, it does look light. If I had to guess, I think this could be the A Overholt. That might be my only guess. Last year was... Okay, yeah. Sorry. Pork chop. Yeah. This is only 2024 releases. That's right. I meant Origin Rye released in 23. That's what I meant. The perfume isn't my favorite kind of rye. Old Forester is after me, says Jason Coates. Yeah, I definitely get that on the A Overhold if that's what it is. All right, this is letter H. Letter H actually smells pretty nice. There's a fruitiness to H, which is kind of cool. This could be one of the finished ryes. Oh, it was the toasted bourbon, JD. That's what it was. Never mind about the toasted, because the Peerless didn't release the toasted ryes this year, right? Or 2024. I think they released previous. So, but that bourbon that JD is talking about, that's probably one of the best toasted bourbons I've had from a distillery, is that one. Yeah, Eric, I like the Monongahela Rye for 35, but yeah, it's really floral, especially now coming off these other ones. See, I think Old Potrero I like better than that A Overholt. Old Potrero is a really nice rye. I got that late last year, or late 2023, and it was really good. Ooh. Kind of digging H. There's a very heavy spice to it. It's a little bit fruit forward. It's got a little bit of what is that flavor I'm getting on the back end? Ritter pointed out that Amroot is labeled straight rye on the bottle. Is it? Oh, dude, I'm definitely putting Amroot in here. What the hell? I'm going to get that Amroot. I don't remember it being a rye. So this is what happens when you get old. All right. I'll figure this out. People messaging me, Amroot's a rye. McGolf Custom Clubs, where is Raconteur from? So Raconteur is a collab that actually from Rare Bird 101, David Jennings. It's a Mizunara finished rye whiskey, I believe. Where's the bottle? Here it is. Raconteur Rye, straight rye finished in Mizunara casks. This is a collaboration that Rare Bird does with the Woodwork Collective. And they released this last year, but this year, I keep forgetting it's 2025. I'm sorry. The first release was in 23. The 24 release, which is this one, I think was a big step up. So I can't wait to see how it does in this. Someone please start a whiskey added tally. Can't believe Whack ruined the stream. Yeah, he kind of put a fly in the ointment, put a monkey in the wrench. Oh, I just spilled on myself. Yeah, I don't know if that Amroot would blind well. How can I do this? Amroot. Is it on my barrel? Am I looking right at it and I'm missing it? This is top-notch content, everyone. Oh, it's actually on my shelf. Okay. I'm always so quick to go to the floor whiskey. Dude, it does. It says straight rye. The Grinch stole it. All right. So here, this is what I'll do. I'll pour this out. I have a couple water bottles down here with me. Clean that out. All right, let me get this out of the way. Let me get a new water bottle here. And yeah, I'm going to throw the Amroot in here. I mean, we'll know what it is, but I don't care. We'll see how it rates. All right, so I'll leave this over here at the end. All right, it's in. Get rid of the perfume one. Yeah, I think that one's definitely going to probably go. All right, so H I really liked. One quick sip here. It's a very fruit-forward rye, and I like that. So I'll give that one a solid 7. Let's go to I. Ooh, I is dark. Look at that. Ooh, yes, Knob Creek 10 is in here. If you look at the list on the left, it lists everything. Did I not write Knob Creek 10 year in there? Oh, I did not. Knob Creek 10 year is in here, so I'm not sure why it's not in there. Why is it not listed? Yeah, got that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put Knob Creek 10 year in here. Yeah. Oh, okay. This thing smells incredible. Let's see. Ooh. That was very licoricey. And there are 16 names there. Ghost Rye? Yeah, what happened? I hate when this happens. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are all in. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Did I pour 2 Evernorths? I don't even know what the hell happened. I don't want to look at the results right now. Something is not right. Let's see here. Yes, there is. It is. It's one off. So I think I have. Yeah, I have 17. So there's one missing in here, and I'm trying to think what is missing in there that I did not put in there. Something's missing. All right, we'll figure it out. It's written in there, so we'll figure it out. All right. I is delicious. It's smoky. It's dense. It's rich. That thing's crazy. I is like, that's an 8. That's really good. It's super dense, super rich. It kind of gives you like these, it tastes like a straight up cigar, but with like a little sweet kick on the back end of it. It's nutty, which is interesting for a rye. I think it's one of the finished ryes. Wondering if that's one of the double oaks. Forget EHT, barrel proof rye. Nothing was lost. Yeah, probably. All right, let's go to the J. Yeah, we'll figure it out. J smells great. Jason, is it the Still Austin? It could be, just based on the color. I remember that Still Austin being pretty dark. Oh, J is freaking delicious. Driftless Glen came out with a good lease this year. A good lease? Driftless Glen come out with a good release this year. Good release. I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, most of the great ryes that you're going to get from Driftless Glen are going to be single barrel ryes. So, man, J is fantastic. So much flavor, rich, dense, sweet, good spice. Seems like there's a little age on there. I might put that one up there with towards. So far, B, I, and now J are kind of getting in that 8-point range. J is really good as well. Wait until you hit 60, says Robert Harper. If I'm still sitting in front of a camera drinking whiskey when I'm 60, that'll be pretty interesting. Then I'll literally be falling on my ass. J is the Sagamore 9, says Max. You know what? If it is, I would not be surprised. J is really good. Right now, my highest scored one is B. B had an 8.5. I and J, I both gave 8s. We have a few 7s. D, we have a 7.5. But we'll go back to that. Anything probably below a 7 will probably get eliminated as we go through these, just to see. So, all right. Now we have letter K. Let's see what we got in K here. Not digging K at all. Yeah, does anybody know where Sagamore 9 finished on Minix list? Curious. Paul Bellarnardo has just checked his bottle of Sagamore. He's not realizing how much he's drinking of it. Yeah, that thing could go fast. This is not Special K. This one's a little bit. That was a really weird aftertaste. What the hell is that? Dude, that's getting like a 4. It's like my lowest scored one. Is the old Grandad 16-year worth $179? It is when you pour a little Old Grandad 114 in it. Oh, man. I'm serious. Here's the thing about Old Grandad 16. Great bourbon, front of the palate, mid palate, but the finish dies. The finish dies. It lacks a finish, which is not what Old Grandad is to me. And that's why, that's probably one of my more disappointing bourbons this year, is the Old Grandad 16. That thing falls off a cliff real hard after like 2 or 3 sips. You just kind of, you're sipping it. Like, I got the age, I got the beaminess in it, a little bit of spice, but then the finish just falls off the cliff, man. And I found that when you blend a little bit of Old Grandad 114 in the bottle, it helps it a lot. Now, whether you want to spend $180 just to blend something, that's up to you. But I'm saying, if you got that bottle and you're not as crazy about the finish like I am, I poured about a quarter of a bottle of Old Grandad 114 in this bottle right here, and it's fantastic right now. This thing is killer. But that's not what the actual, it's not the actual release. I doctored it a little bit. So, yeah. The worst thing that happened to OG G16 is OGD 114. Yeah, basically. It does look cool on the shelf. It's a cool bottle. What's up, Benjamin? I see you, man. Yeah, like if the store threw in an OGD 114 with your purchase, then definitely get it. No Sagamore in Minik's list at all? Wow. See, I don't know how Minik does it. I don't know how he mixes like ryes, bourbons, and everything into one thing, but that's what he does. Bought OGD 16 for $122 out the door today. Use points, I think it's worth it. At $122, hell yeah, it's worth it. Not $200. The proof on the OGD 16 is 100, right on the dot. K might be hard truth. I don't think it's the hard truth, Todd. This one is either, these two are really, really funky. G is weird and K is weird. They're both floral and funky, and I think K actually has a worse aftertaste than G does. So I don't know. But those are definitely getting ousted here. All right, we're on L here. Okay. Oh, L smells fantastic. Why isn't K Luke toasted on your list, says David G. I didn't get a full bottle of it, David. I'm not a big toasted guy. That's why. But it is good for a toasted rye. So we'll see. The thing about Sagamore stuff is usually the release everyone's talking about isn't even their best release. There's like 4 distiller-only drops that are out of this world good. Yeah, that's actually a good point in Whiskey Habit. $500 for the Thomas H. Handy, too much? Yes. Yeah. I know Thomas H. Handy gets upcharged. Dude, it's a 6-year barrel strength rye. 6 years old. I mean, let's relax. I know it's BTAC. I know it's delicious. It's a freaking 6-year barrel strength rye. Let's relax on Thomas H. Handy. People go ape shit over that bottle. I get it. You know why? Because it tastes like a fucking bourbon. It's sweet. It doesn't even taste like a rye. It tastes like candy. It's candied rye. That's why people love it. I get it. But I'm not paying $500 for a freaking candied rye whiskey. Sorry. If you could find that thing for like, I would not. Now look, I know generally it gets upcharged. 500 is too high. Maybe 400 would be the most I pay for a Thomas H. Handy. 500? Hell no. Too much. Yeah. Get EH. To be fair, you'd rather have it than EH Taylor barrel proof rye though. Have what, Max? I prefer Handy over the E.H. Taylor barrel proof rye for sure. The E.H. Taylor barrel proof rye is in this mix, and that's again, like I said before, that's a big regret buy this year. You know, I had to pay a lot for it, and I don't like it at all. So, yeah, barter. Ooh, L's kind of nice. I don't know. L's kind of middle of the road. Not a huge bump here in it definitely coming off of K, it's a lot better. Oh, that's getting better the more I sip it. L's good. L's really good. L is like a candied rye. It's kind of, I don't have Thomas H. Handy, but that's probably the closest thing I've had to Thomas H. Handy right here. Damn. That is like liquid candy. I'm wondering if that's a Michter's product. There's 2 Michter's products in this mix tonight, and I'm wondering if that's one of them. Sagamore Double Oak Rye is meh, says Dan Cobbs. Again, it's a lower proof. I think for people that aren't crazy about rye, Sagamore Double Oak is good. Again, it depends on the rye drink, the type of rye drink you are. Some people love that dill pickle, heavy, like just herbal forward rye. Some people like a more floral rye. Some people like a sweeter rye. It just depends. It's like bourbon. You know, bourbon has so many different levels when it comes to sweet, oak. Do you like rye forward bourbons? You like sweeter bourbons, candied bourbons, cherry forward, spice forward? It just depends. And I think rye whiskey, because of the popularity that it's gained over the last several years, has gotten enough of a flavor spectrum that you could kind of choose your path a little bit. Top Jimmy Mashandrum, I agree with you. All your thoughts on OGD 16. I also think because of the bottle, too many compare it to OGD 114. It is probably better viewed as a 16-year OGD bottled in bond. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Let's see. What did I miss something from Bourbon Bill? What did Bourbon Bill say? Bourbon Bill, I'll be doing a full Sagamore Rye of the Year blind in addition to my Rye of the Year video, but it won't be out for a couple of weeks yet. But Bourbon Bill, I'll be tuning into that. Guys, give Bourbon Bill a follow. Let's do it. We have 315 watching now in the chat. Holy shit. Thank you guys hanging out tonight. Just going through my Ryes of the Year here. Just having a little fun. We'll see where this lands. I've already found 2 or 3 disgusting Ryes compared to the other ones. We'll see how this goes. L is good. I'm going to give L like a 7.2. That thing's pretty, that's pretty good. All right. So GHIJKL. I mean, I could pretty much say that K is going to be out. K is gone. I'm taking K out. K is just freaking weird. And I'm also taking, what was the other one? G? G is out too. I'm already eliminating K and G right now because those things are not going to hold up. All right. So now we have L, M, N, O, P, Q, and R. And that's it. It's a lot of samples, guys. Trying to stay hydrated. I had a nice, hearty dinner leading up to this, so hopefully I don't fall off my chair. Those Brook Hill Ryes are good, but the same MGP Ryes are found elsewhere for a ton cheaper. Yeah, the Brook Hill Rye, I did get to try that. It's good. I didn't want to buy it for the price point, but there are a lot of great ones. Black Bourbon Family, yo, Happy New Year, everybody. Jason and Brandy in the house, guys. Love you guys. Jason and Brandy, will definitely have you on here soon once the new year, kind of all my end of the year stuff ends. I know I owe you a blind sample challenge. We'll definitely get that out to you guys. Okay, let's go to M here. Is Willet 11-year rye worth the price? Says Lonnie Berry. It's a great question, actually. I have thoughts about Willet. Most of them are not good thoughts because I hate their effing prices. But I'll say this about the high-age ryes. The high-age ryes from Willet are usually pretty freaking fantastic. The problem is you have to pay a premium for it. If you want to spend the money on it, go for it. I don't think... Generally, the ones that I've only had a few. There are not many. I've had more high-age purple top bourbons than I've had the ryes. But the couple ryes that I've had were actually pretty fantastic. Now, I don't know if that is consistent across the board with every single high age rye that you get from Willet, because I just haven't had enough of them. I don't see them enough. But if you're a betting man, the 2 or 3 that I've had were fantastic. So if I had one that I was able to pick up just to have, I probably would pull the trigger on it. But I don't know. It's scary. This Nash Tucky 10-year rye I'm sipping would do well in that blind, says JD Fridges. If you pay $400 Tom and Chase Hanner, you're better off buying that Willet 11-year, in my opinion. Yeah, that's actually a good point, Nathan. And 11, if you're, what's the price on it? I'm sorry, who asked that question? Lonnie, what's the price at? I'm just curious. Tell everybody in the chat what the price is on that 11-year rye. Ooh, M is a creamsicle in a glass. They should have released OGD 450-ish. That seems about right, though. Yeah, probably about 500 with tax. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. Willet is just such a weird, it's like such a weird cult following type of brand. And I just haven't had enough of them to be like, yeah, go grab that one. I don't know. I wish I could give you more information, but I just haven't had enough high age ryes from Willet. I'm sure they're sourced. I mean, shit, it could be Heaven Hill rye whiskey. It could be from anywhere. Could be MGP. I don't know. But 11-year Willet rye whiskey, that's a really, you don't come across that age statement in a Willet rye very often. So I don't know. If it was me, I'd probably pull the trigger on it and pray to God it's good. Oh, they're Willet distilled. Okay. So maybe they are from Willet. And that makes me even more scared. To be honest. Yeah. Jason C., you ever had the Sazerac 18-year? If so, how does it compare to the Michter's 10-year? Saz 18, to me, I like Saz 18, but I think most years, Saz 18 for me would beat Michter's 10-year. Michter's 10-year, though, for 2024, I think beats Saz 18. Now, I didn't have Saz 18 2024 edition, but yeah, I think I would probably take the Michter's 10 single barrel rye for 2024 over Saz 18 this year. Jay, we sipped on that 11-year Willet rye, that favorite rye or a drain pour, and I don't say drain pour often. Was it a drain pour? Oh, that's right. We did, dude. I don't even remember that. Anthony brought me. That was okay. If that was the 11-year Willet rye, JD, then it was freaking good. So I would probably pull the trigger on it. All right. M is good. I'd give it a solid 6. It's a great orangey type of flavor profile. All right, let's go to N. N smells good. Again, we're kind of into like this more of a fruity type of rye experience. We have over 300 people watching, guys. If you're hanging out here tonight on a Thursday, kind of off schedule for me, then definitely, if you can, hit that like button while you're hanging out tonight. Really appreciate it, guys. Happy New Year. Thanks for hanging out. Big things coming from the Master and Drum here in 2025. I think we'll hit 100,000 subscribers, especially with my next few videos that I have planned. I also have a my own whiskey brand should be announced at some point here early 2025. This will not be a bottle you'll be able to find on the shelf, but more to come. on that. So, yeah. A little bit of a teaser. There you go. Dennis J. Trake. Dude, I got to try a Green River Rye at Cask Strength when I was at the distillery. I'm telling you guys right now, the Green River Ryes at Cask Strength are going to be the next big thing. People are going to go apeshit over those when they start trying them. They are, the one that I had was freaking delicious. So just get your wallets ready, because when Green River starts releasing these ryes at Cask Strength, yeah, you're going to want it. I'm telling you right now. I've warned you. You've been warned. Dank Hobbs, can you tell us where you're sourcing your whiskey from? All the places, Dank. All the places. Wherever I could find good whiskey. That's basically what I'm doing. Kentucky, Indiana, wherever I could find it. So, but I'm going to be really, really finicky on the blends, the barrels. I'm probably going to be too finicky because I want to make sure that every single bottle that I bottle is going to be amazing whiskey. So I'm going to have to, you know, I'm going to have to check myself here a little bit. Thomas Ray, are they batched? Well, they could be. Well, I can't say too much just yet, guys. You'll find out soon enough. We'll get there. So you're saying we'll have a Green River Rye pick? No, I don't think a Green River Rye pick just yet. I don't think they'll be doing picks of it yet, but I think we're going to see. We already have the Green River Foolproof Bourbon that released here in 2024. I think the Rye is just the next step. So we'll see. N is very good. N is a straight up creamsicle in a glass. So good. It's got some spice, some proof to it. That's good. That's going to get like a 7.3. Letter N. All right, let's go to the O. O is, oh shit. Okay. O has some, okay. Yeah, that's true, Max. Green River does keep things at a good price point. Whiskey Tornado is here. Lance, cheers and Happy New Year, Jason. Hard Truths Distillers Blend was my favorite rye this year. I'm sure too chocolatey and coffee forward for some. Love everything they're doing. Dude, Lance, I love the chocolate coffee forward stuff. I really, really do. I actually picked the finished one in my blind, so we'll see how it does. I think 2025 is the year of the blend. Any more Bella Bedford ryes coming this year, says Brian Headcamp. Probably not. They just don't sell for whatever reason. Nobody wanted 11 to 12 year MGP, which I thought was incredibly surprising. So, yeah, probably not going to do a Bella Bedford again, unfortunately. Not as impressive on the palate as I was hoping. Great nose. Yeah, Kenneth, I agree with you, man. But people slept on that bottle. I don't even know if it's still. I don't even know if it's sold out yet. That nobody wanted that bottle. It's crazy. William Wiley says, I bought 3 of those Bella Bedfords for 24. They were amazing. Dude, it was an amazing single barrel that we did, but it did not sell. It barely sold. It was pretty bad. So what is the Mash and Journey barrel pick? It's actually, I don't know. Is that the one? Is this it? I think this was the one right here. This was our barrel pick. Or am I wrong? Was it a 12 year? This is the 11 year. Oh no, this is the first one we did. The next one we did was a 12 year, I think. Yeah, it was 11 and a half years. Yeah, 11 and a half. Yep. This was it. This is the Bella Bedford that we picked. Incredible single barrel. Look how dark that is. And nobody bought it. What do you think about the label for the Knob Creek cast strength single barrels to potentially see KC over 120 proof? Could be lovely. Rare breed, I'm with you, man. So if nobody has heard yet, Knob Creek recently announced the Knob Creek picks for the store or the for groups like us, groups that you're involved with, will be cast strength. So they're not going to be proof down 120. They're going to be probably higher than that. So you could see Knob Creek picks for anywhere from 120 up to 100, maybe even 30 proof, 140 proof, depending on where those barrels are. So I'm super excited about it. My group, we're already lined up to do maybe one, maybe two Knob Creek bourbon picks this year. So we are really excited to try these at cast strength. Ages, we'll see. They're usually 9-10 years old. Maybe we'll see some higher ages in there. Here's the thing, though. Jim Beam, if you've ever been there, warehouses are super, super high. Most of them are really, really high up. I mean, we're talking about 15, 16 floors. I mean, just ridiculous. So I want to try one of those Knob Creek rides from that high floor up there and see how high the proofs go on these, because I don't know if we know. I mean, I don't know if we know how high these proofs go on some of these Knob Creek picks before they get them down to 120. So I think we have a really great opportunity to get some killer Knob Creek picks here in 2025 going forward. So I'm all about it. All about it. And I think they had to do this to differentiate. Now, if you guys also remember, Knob Creek announced that if you are a group and you want to do your own pick, but you don't have a store, you don't have an actual distributor, you could kind of go around the 3-tier system and go directly to Jim Beam now. I mean, you could go online, sign up. So say you and you have, 10 buddies. Yeah, I want to get a barrel of Knob Creek. You could sign up for this program that Jim Beam has announced. And they announced this a couple months ago, where you could just go in and buy a barrel collectively for your friend group or whatever it is. Now, the thing is you have to buy the barrel. You have to buy the entire barrel or all the bottles at delivery. And I think those are 120 proof. So that's the difference. And I think that's why they went cast strength on the picks now for the stores. They had to differentiate themselves between the folks coming in with their own group to get it versus the folks that are coming in getting it through a store. So the stores, the groups, the distributors, they are now going to get cast strength Knob Creek picks, and now the group picks that go around the 3-tier system to get their picks to buy it privately, those will be 120 proof. So that's a differentiator. Whiskey Tornado, yield might be tough. We did a Knob Creek pick this year, and the yield was 60 bottles. Never heard of a Knob Creek with the yield that low. Well, I mean, Lance, you're going to come across short barrels. I mean, that's part of the game, buddy. If anybody knows anything about picking short barrels, it's this guy. All I do is pick short barrels. Why? Because they're the most dense, most delicious single barrels that are there. That's probably why you pick it, Lance. I mean, Lance, you got a friggin' great palate. You know what's good. So short barrels are real. If anybody, my group could tell you how many damn short barrels we picked. It's almost embarrassing. So those are the most dense, rich, dark, delicious picks that are going to be out there. And yeah, we'll probably, if they are cast strength and they're high up in that rick house, there probably will be some short barrels that are going to be out there, unfortunately. But I mean, that's what it is. So, all right, let's go to P. Fucking Beavers. Any idea of cost? So if you're talking about the private barrel, all you have to do is buy all the bottles. So the bottles are $70 each. So it's $70 times however many bottles you get. So 70 times 150, 160, 140, whatever that barrel count is. That's what I was told when I was recently at the distillery. So if there's 160 bottles, 150 bottles of that pick, $70 each, that's what your group is has to pay. But right now, already, there's a 4 to 6 month wait for it. So you got to go online, put it in now if you and a bunch of people want to grab your own barrel for it. So you go do the barrel experience, pick it. Once it gets bottled, you have to go there with your group, pay the entire amount for every bottle that came out, and then it's yours. So that's the only caveat. So, you know, you have to be ready to pay out about, you know, $6-7 grand for a full barrel. But if you go in with a bunch of people, it's not too bad. So, Fucking Beaver says, I need more friends to buy that barrel. Yeah, Whiskey Tornado. Why do you pick short barrels? Because they're the best. Short barrels are the greatest. Yeah, Nathan, and I think that's the other reason why they did this, is because they want more access to more barrels, because I think because of the dip in sales, there's going to be more barrels available. Look for more distillers to do this. I think Jim Beam is just the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to see a lot more of these distillers jumping on board for private barrel sales if it gets approved. I'm telling you. I think that's the next big thing in bourbon. Go around the 3-tier system. You know what? You don't need a distributor. You don't need a store. Just come here, buy it, take all the bottles off of our hands, buy them right now, and get out of here. Enjoy. That's the next big thing in whiskey. Oh my God. Dude, P is so good. P is so good. I just realized what I said. That's gross. That's really gross. Letter P is so good. I think we'll see the return to higher age Knob Creek picks. I hope Jay will drink. I hope as we get down the line, we'll see higher ages. I would love to see the Knob Creek picks get back into, 11, 12, 13-year ranges. But again, this is Jim Beam here. We're talking about a distiller that constantly puts out high-aged whiskeys. So I don't really know where that ends. So we'll see. Until the government figures out a way to tax it. Yeah, that's true. That's an unfortunate sentence. You're right, Jason Coates. Actually, I didn't give O a score. Let me take one more sip of O here. Oh, I'm gonna give a 6.5. It's good, but P, dude, P is letter P. That might be an 8. That actually might be the best finish I've had on a rye. Is letter P. The best finish in the oh my God, dude. What is letter P? P's getting an 8. Maybe an 8.3. That's up there with B. Whatever letter P is, holy shit. Okay. Knob Creek 12 cask strength they need to bring back. If there's anything that Jim Beam has missed out on, it's the full, all-in, I'm going to distribute this to everyone, Knob Creek 12-year cask strength. Let's do it for the people. All 339 of you watching right now, I'm working for you. This is what's happening. We need Jim Beam to come back with the Knob Creek 12-year cask strength. It's a shame it's only been released once. What is happening? Bring that shit back out now. Telling you. Would you say the spirit sales are in a bust? No, I don't think it's a bust right now, Ralph Handy. I think it's in a... They're not busting yet. I would say they're in decline, but I don't think they're busting yet. I think people want more connection to the whiskey brand that they're buying from. And I think people want quality for the price. Again, there's too many releases that do not exceed what's on the shelf. And you're asking people to pay $150 to $250 to sometimes $300 for a whiskey that's not as good as some stuff on the shelf. And that shit has to stop. That's what has to come to an end. If you're going to sell us some crap for $250, $300, it better have like a high age statement, cask strength, full flavor bomb. You know, I'm sorry. I don't want a $300 85, 86 proof bourbon anymore. Done. No. We're going to go to the queue. See what we got with the queue. What's up, Palo Cractodon is here. Ever tried some of the 95.5 12-year ryes from Short Barrel? Need to get down to Atlanta and do a pick. Short Barrel is on the list this year, Bourbon Badger. Would love to do those. I've heard great things about those ryes. I'm definitely want to do that. So, like Old Grandad 16-year. Yes, Ralph Handy. Unless you add some Old Grandad 114 to it. Dude, Q smells fantastic too. Oh, man. Q has this chocolatey. That might be the one rye I've had tonight that has. Well, no, that's probably the second or third. I've had a couple of ryes tonight where I've called out chocolate. That one's very chocolatey. It's rich. It's dense. Q is not questionable. Oh, man. Q. Holy shit, that's good. That might be up to like close to 9. Wow. That's like an 8.7 right now. That might be my highest graded rye tonight so far. I don't think I've quite had a 10 yet, but that is close. What was the ABV on KC12 barrel strength, says Kraken? The one I have, I can't even read from here. I could see it, but I think it was like 100 and I think mine was like 130 something proof. And it was freaking delicious. I'm looking at mine right now. It is so good. Why that has not re-released, I will never know. 120.5? Were they all 120.5? I feel like mine's higher. Jason, we love your Grinch shows. Are you bringing him back next year? Tiffany Phillips Weber. What's up, Tiffany? I think so. I got way more positive feedback from the Grinch this year than I did last year. Or 2023 versus 2024 versus 2023. I think people were a little bit weirded out in the beginning when I was doing like a voice of a stuffed animal, and I get it. I was just, it's like one of those things where there's so many advent calendars. You want to set yourself apart, do something different. So, yeah, I don't know why. I went all in on the Grinch, and people seem to really enjoy it, in 2024. So I'll definitely bring him back. Grinchette, I don't know if I'd bring back Grinchetta. That one was a little bit weird, I think. I think I went a little too far with all the Grinches. But if anything, you will see the Grinch again in 2025. So, yeah. There were different proofs. Yeah. Okay. So the mine is probably the higher one, 124. Jason, keep the Grinch. It rocks. The Grinch was silly. Silly is good. Long live the Grinch. Yeah, it is silly, but I had a good time with it. It lets me be a little bit more creative and be a little bit, because my reviews are generally pretty information intensive. I've been called boring, and I get it. So I think the Grinch lets me be a little bit more creative. So there you go. Yeah, pork chop. I have a new nickname just because of the advent calendar. So you're amazing. Your brand pork chop, says Whiskey Habit. Yeah, I might actually come out. One of my releases will probably be called pork chop at some point, especially if there's like a smoky one. All right, so let's go to this one. This is the Amroot. This is the one I added at the end. Let's see how this does in the blind here. Tell you what, the nose on the Amroot's fantastic. Yeah, people wanted me to do like a Christmas in July Grinch episode, so maybe we will. Matt Luna, what kicks are you wearing, Jason? So I broke out the Travis Scott olive green, the reverse olive greens. I figured because I'm drinking rye, I got that green reverse Nike swoosh on it. So I got a couple of cool pairs of sneakers for Christmas, so that's pretty fun. I got the Air Jordan Trophy Room lows, and I got the latest Travis Scott Velvet Browns. So excited to rock those soon. This is good. It's smoky. It's rich. What do you think is going to happen with MGP since the president of the distillery tried to mitigate the low sales by saying that he had fixed the issues when in fact MGP had not? Yeah, I mentioned this on my my Gatsby review that the CEO of the former CEO now of MGP had to step down because he was misleading the shareholders on exactly what was going on behind the scenes financially with MGP. And unfortunately, MGP, I feel like it just isn't in a good place right now. I'm not sure what's going to happen. So we already had one news story that said MGP is going to be cutting back sales. I'm sorry, not sales, but production. So again, we've talked about the decline in American whiskey sales here in 2024. Going into 2025, we'll see what happens. So there has been a decline. So MGP is kind of geared up for that. They're going to be kind of, cutting back on production. On top of that, you have a CEO that's been misleading the shareholders, saying it's not as bad as you think it is, but yeah, it kind of is. So he's now stepping down. So I think MGP is a little bit of a rut. On top of that, I feel like MGP, and I mentioned that, and I mentioned this in the Remus review as well, they have a very big marketing problem. Nobody knows what the hell Remus whiskey is. They don't know it's MGP. People don't know where that shit is from. And I still think there's a big disconnect between the consumer and the MGP distillery. Now, I have been lucky enough to go to MGP and walk through those incredibly industrial type of distillery. It's insane the amount of whiskey that they produce. The actual, Ian Stursman, who is probably one of the best distillers I've ever gotten a chance to talk to. He's brilliant, but I think, and he knows that there is a big disconnect between the brand and the average consumer. The average consumer knows who Buffalo Trace is. They have no idea what the hell MGP is. They don't know that Remus is made by MGP. They don't know how good Remus is because they don't know who MGP is, and in turn don't know too much about what this whiskey is from Indiana. It's a huge disconnect, and that's a big problem. So it's something that they're trying to fix. I think it's just taking too long. MGP needs to shift the mindset, get people in that distillery to some capacity, make a connection with the consumer so they know exactly what the Remus brand, Rossville Union, Gatsby, what these brands mean, what they are, what's the differences, because people are just not locked into them, unfortunately. And I think that spells big trouble for a brand. If your consumer cannot connect, if you're you guys watching right now, me, we know MGP. We know the beauty of what MGP can bring to the table when it comes to old school MGP, when it comes to new school MGP, ryes, bourbons, whatever it may be, different mash bills. We know what's out there. The average consumer doesn't know what the hell MGP is. And they need to start doing better with the marketing aspect of it. Lost and Fib. I'm sorry, I say MGP. It's Ross and Squibb lawyer, Ross and Squibb, Jacoby and Myers. then maybe stop with the NDAs and let people know. Could probably help people know what they're doing. Ralph Handy. I don't think it's them exactly. I think it's the people that are sourcing from them. I get it, but if you normally see distilled in Indiana, it's MGP. I just don't think enough people make that connection. So Penelope is the best they have. Yeah. And the thought, Robert W., to your point, is I was hoping that Penelope because Penelope, if they're not great at, whatever you want to think about the whiskey, their marketing is exceptional. Penelope needs to help Ross and Squibb connect their marketing to their consumer. That's what needs to happen. And if they don't fix that, MGP could be on a pretty steep decline here. So I'm a little worried about MGP. Not that worried because they have a shit ton of barrels. If they put out like an 18, 20 year MGP cask strength hazmat bottle from some NDP or even under their own label at some point, it would sell out in seconds. It would be on secondary for thousands of dollars. But that's for the whiskey geek. What do you want to, how do you connect with that other audience that's not the whiskey geek? And I think that's the really big disconnect that MGP has right now, unfortunately. Dude, that's good. I'm sorry, but the Bardstown Amroot is delicious. It's holding up. Even as the last sample in all these ryes I've had tonight, it's holding up. So what do I give that one? It's at least a 7. Give it a 7.2. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Anything that's anything that's 6 or below, we're going to cut. So A was a 6. Well, we already got rid of K and G. So A was a 6. We're getting rid of A. A's gone. F is gone. F is gone. A's gone. M is gone. Where's M? M's right here. M's gone. O is borderline. O is borderline. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take the 7s. We're going to blind those, start making cuts. Then we'll get to the high tiers, and we'll start working our way down from there. So I'm kind of glad I did this. There's this rationale here. Hey, what's up, brothers in bourbon? Nice to see you, man. All right. So we're going to do O. So glad I put these letters front and center here. Well, I mean, we're going to keep this one in here. So we have, all right, so C was a 7. I'm bringing that one in. D was a 7.5. That one's coming in. E is a 7. H, where's H? H is hanging in. I was an 8, so we're going to keep that. I and J, so I'm going to kind of take the 8s and kind of put those in a grouping as well. So I, J, B for sure. That's all staying in that group. Where did L go? L's in this group. And O is borderline. You know what? I'm just going to probably take O out. Is O? Yeah, I'm probably going to take O out. So O is out. P is high end. P is going to go into the tops. Q is definitely going to the tops. And R is right in here. All right, so we're kind of in our, so we already know, so we have these here that have been eliminated. Not so much eliminated, but they're just kind of on the back end of what we're tasting tonight. These are the mid-tier ones. So now we need to kind of go through these, figure out what my favorites are, and then we have the top tiers. And then we'll start, figuring out exactly what's going to fall where. So, all right. I'm trying to get through these guys. I don't want to go over some of the other whiskey tubers, like Whiskey Row is going live. Big Vic is going live. I'm not sure if Cam Drums and Drams is going live, but I'm trying to get through this because I don't want to overstep their bounds. So, all right. Let's see if I could just kind of go through these and figure out what my favorites are here. Just a few sevens. Yep. The fact that you prefer to call them MGP instead of Ross and Squibb is a problem in itself, and so many others in the whiskey world do as well. It further proves your point of a disconnect. Ricardo, dude, you said it right. I think that's a huge problem too. They rebranded as Ross and Squibb, but they should have just stayed. They should just stay with MGP. That's what people know them as, to be honest. So yeah. Ian said they would be focusing more on their own brands, and there would be some new stuff coming when I was at MGP a couple months ago, says Don Prince. Yeah, he said the same to me. He also told me that they are going to be building a visitor experience at MGP at some point. But it's like, you're MGP. Like, fucking get that shit up and running. Like, you have people really interested in your whiskey. The visitor experience, the gift shop, it's such a huge part of visiting a distillery. I don't think they realize that. And I understand that it's a very industrial type. It is Willy Wonka, guys. Like, when you go to MGP, it is very industrial. It is extremely mechanical. It's not pretty. It's not modern. It's old school distillery stuff. So they need to make a visitor experience that's a little bit more modern, that connects them to the brand. And as cool as it is to see the distillery, you just don't have that brand recognition. And I think that's what they need. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's a long way from visitor ready, Don. I totally agree. It really is. So, okay. Could you imagine their gift shop? It would have like 50 different brands. It could, but it could also have like think about it. MGP distills a ton of different recipes that either we don't know about or are maybe in the market in very small corners in the market, and also mash bills that we haven't tried yet. If they did distillery exclusives with these like exceptional series, or like an experimental mash bill that you can't get anywhere else, could you imagine the flood of people that would connect with that brand? Just because exclusivity and consumer connection are the cornerstones of whiskey these days. That's what it is. Nobody wants a 4 or 5 year, $150 source whiskey anymore. Those days are gone. I don't care how good it is. What people want now is something even more exclusive, something that is unique, something that you can't get anywhere else. That's what people want to buy and spend their money on. So MGP could do that. They just need to figure it out. MGP, I'm available for hiring if you would like. I could totally be a consultant. Man, I like C a lot. I called it a 7 earlier. It might go higher. Enter Blue Run Rant. It makes me so happy that Blue Run is just sitting on shelves everywhere. Oh my God. What happened to that brand? Remember, Jason C was right about Blue Run. You know what happened? They got bought by Coors and everybody flew the coop because they got their fucking money. You heard it here first, folks. You can't outmarket me. I know marketing, and I know how shitty and full of shit the Blue Run marketing was. All right. Oh my God, this is so good. Jason has never been more right about anything than about Blue Run. Nathan, I told you guys. I told you that those guys were in it for this. That's it. They wanted the money. They didn't care about anything else. They didn't care about changing the game, giving us premium whiskey. All they cared about was making a quick buck. They were full of shit. I knew it. Whiskey knows, yeah. All right, so between these, so C, I'm going to keep it a 7. N, dude, N is really good. I'm going to put N in the next tier. The D I gave it 7.5. William Wiley, I haven't heard anything from Dan of the Junkies about... Dan can talk to you about Blue Run. He told me what kind of happened with them. I'm not saying it, but Blue Run is full of shit. This is really good too. I don't know, man. I think I should probably not really taste through these. This is kind of the second level. I'm just trying to see if any of these want to make it to the top tier here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 in the top tier. We're going to rank. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is getting tougher and tougher. I think I'm going to take H out of the mix. I'm going to take H out of the mix. C, D, E. Let me go to L. Yeah, I mean, man, these are really close. These are all just really good rye whiskeys, but I still think these top tier ones here are just above the rest. Yeah, I mean, we know this is the Amroot, and as much as I love that release this year, I think it's still mid-tier compared to the other ones. To be honest, as much as I love that Bardstown Amroot. But I like the Amroot over this other group we have here. Okay. So, do any of these make the top tier? Do I shift the mindset here a little bit? We have 352 people in the chat. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out tonight. Appreciate it. Gary Maureen Franchi is here. Coincidence? Blue Run is full of shit, and so is Dan. Oh, fancy Franchi. I love you. Hope you guys are doing it right. I doubt Jason will eliminate the Michter's 10-year and one of the 2 bottles I own on this list. Let's go, says Emmanuel Elvira. Gary Franchi and Maureen Franchi are here. It just became the best stream ever. No one even knows anything for no one even knows anyone from Blue Run. Like, think about how amazing Connor from Heaven Hill is, or Ian from MGP, Brent from Four Roses. People want to hear from their brands. Whiskey Habit, exactly. That's what I was saying from the beginning. Blue Run was in it for this. They had the marketing. They had the beautiful bottles, the fucking butterflies, and they get bought by Coors, and now they're gone. Gone. In the wind. Because they got what they wanted. They got bought out. They made a buck, and they're off to the races. That giant distillery that they made a huge shitstorm about, PR announcement. We're building this beautiful distillery somewhere in Kentucky. That thing's never getting built. It's never getting built because nobody wants Blue Run. It's bullshit. And I knew it was bullshit from the beginning. Yeah, single barrel draft day, which was one of the most embarrassing live streams ever. It kept glitching. It kept going out. It kept getting the wheel of death. I mean, it was so stupid. And unfortunately, there's some very, very good and talented people in the whiskey industry that got wrapped up in all that Blue Run shit. So, yeah, Rutledge was their master, like liquid. Rutledge was their liquid advisor. That was like his title. Jim Rutledge is legendary. And I hated to see him kind of wrapped up in all their bullshit, but that's what happened. All right. I think I'm putting, I don't know if I want to put D in there. E, no. L. L, yes. And this is the Amrut. Amrut is still staying mid-tier. All right. So I have a bottom tier, a mid-tier, then this is my high tier. My high tier, I'm going to taste through, and we're going to name my rye whiskey of the year. Here we go. I just need some warm water here. Did a tasting with Mike Montgomery from Blue Run, and he was a nice guy, but I would say he felt like a money guy for sure. Yeah, if we were talking about bullshit, let's not forget to mention good old Raj from Whistle Pig. Bach the Spirits suck as well. I heard Jason is capable of punching a butterfly in the face if he sees one. Yeah, I could. F your butterfly, eliminate mid, more rye. Oh, yes, Jason getting toasted while blasting Blue Run, looking for an epic stream finish. I'm not blasted. I'm a little toasty, but not too bad. Like I said, trying to keep up with the water here. All right, here's the final tier, guys. So we have letters. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, this is actually perfect. We have 6 glasses left to figure out what my rye of the year is going to be. One of these glasses are going to get crowned 2024 Master Drum Rye of the Year. So yeah, we're in it. So as far as bottom tier, I don't want to open up the envelope yet and find out exactly who is who and who's been eliminated, but we'll get there. Did I miss the annual playing of the Elijah Fall video? No, but I mean I could play it if you want. Here we go. I fell. Yeah, that was me falling after a blind flight of a Logitech barrel proof. There you go. I know everybody loves that one. Sipping some Knob 18. What a disappointment revisiting after the first pour, rather during OGD 117. Whiskey Uncensored. Will we get the 2025 version tonight? I think I'll be okay. I fell. Let me see here. What can we do here? For all you guys hanging out tonight, chilling out with me, what can we give away tonight? Is there anything you guys want me to give away? What can I give away? I'll tell you what. Before I say this, let me make sure that they're still available. Nope, that's gone. That's gone. Let me see here. Our high bank pick sold out, but all right, this is what I'm going to do. This is still available. Mash and Journey did a 4-gate pick. We did a 4-gate single barrel selection that was 8 years and 9 months old. And I'm going to tell you straight out, It is it's a Four Roses. It is Four Roses, 8 years, 9 months old. That was double oaked. So the Kelvin 60 that came out last year was a double oaked Four Roses, but these are single barrel double oaked Four Roses. So if you guys want a chance to win, I will literally send you a 4-gate. This is a $225 bottle, and I will give one away tonight if you guys are up for it. I just need someone in the chat to track names if possible. So Whiskey knows, Marty. I don't know if you're able to do it. Let me know if anybody can do it for me to track names. But this is what we're gonna do. So YouTube has this new thing where you could set a goal. So I'm gonna set up a goal of 50. No, I'm gonna do 30. 30 super chats at least. $5 or more for the next hour. If I get that many, I will give away a 4-gate single barrel from Mash and Drum. All right. Starting the goal right now. All right. Yeah. Ben, if you could do it, please do it. Appreciate it. All right. So there you go. I will give away. Is the bottle on sip, says Dennis Art? No, I can use a backup of a double oak s'more schmoses. Yeah. Bourbon, you got it. All right. So Bourbon, it's on you, man. Track it. Basically, I will count me in for the blue run giveaway. Mike Daly, I'll send you all the blue run I have if you want it. Yeah, Ben, I'll send you one too if you track the names. There you go, guys. Happy New Year. Send in some super chats and I will give away. I will literally send you tonight a 4-gate Four Roses single barrel that we did. 8 years, 9 months old. Four Roses. Now, I don't know what recipe it is, but it's double oaked. I've always wanted a double oaked Four Roses. We're calling it the Dark Rose. It is what it is. Let's go. Okay. Here you go. Have fun, guys. I'm gonna give one away right now. Dude, B is so amazingly delicious. There you go, Andrew. $10. It's good, man. You're good. $10. You're in. Yeah, it's 4-gate, but it's source. Obviously, it's Four Roses, 8 years, 9 months old. That's been double oaked for about, I think it was 5 or 6 months. And it is delicious. So have at it. Girth Brooks getting in on it. We have 409 people in chat. Holy shit. Keep going, guys. There you go. Let's go. Good luck, folks. What are your rye whiskey predictions for 2025? Says Eric Snyder. That's a good question, Eric. I got to think about that one. 2024 was a great year for rye. I think we'll see more in 2025. I think we'll see more finished ryes. So we'll see what happens. All right. So I have to narrow these down. These are going to be, one of these is going to be my rye of the year. Okay, so I'm going to rescore these over I. I like I, but I like B better. So you know what? B is kind of the leader in the clubhouse here. I'm gonna get B here at like 9. Did we hit the goal already? Hey, goal is met. Congratulations. There we go. Appreciate you guys. We hit the goal. Holy shit. BL Brewing Company comes in with a Hyundai. Holy shit, dude. Thank you so much. BL Brewing is going to get multiple chances there, Bourbon. Holy shit. Thank you so much. That's incredible. Rare breed coming in. Never had a 4 grade. Let's give it a go. Okay. I would literally order this shit like tonight. And I will send it to you, whoever wins. Yeah, he's ready to go, dude. Dude. Yeah, give him Bourbon, give BL Brewing give him 10 chances, man. That's awesome. Maureen Franchi's going. Cheers to a banger of 2025 100K. We're definitely hitting 100K in 2025. It's going to be awesome. Dude, Franklin is unknown around here. BL Brewing. This is your sign. More giveaways. Yeah, maybe more giveaways in 2025 for you guys. More blind samples. Should be fun. All right. So I like B over I. Let's go to J here. J is really good too. I like J over I. I'm going to start maneuvering these around. Jason want me to throw in a Barstown Blitz Rye, make it a new super chat goal. Rob D. How many do you have, Rob? Do you have 2? Yeah, I'm doing the 5 and entry standard using the old school Dram Hound. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Ben. I like it. Yeah, how many do you have, dude? Oh my God, P is fucking so good. I think I like P over this one too. Happy New Year, guys. God, 405 people watching right now. That is awesome. Rob, you have 1? You're willing to give up your 1? Yeah, I can't do that, man. Keep it, dude. It's such a good rye, Rob. Don't give it away, man. Yeah, Matt, you're good at $4.99. That'll work. Dark Rose, go get it. You're good. All right, Q. Q, I remember being really good. Oh my gosh. These are all so good. We're kind of on the fringe here. I got to really start narrowing these down, but they are really close. Each one is just so unique in its own way, but really good. But what is my favorite? Q is up there for me. Do I like Q over P? Do I like it over J and L? Rob D, Happy New Year, buddy. John Williams, holy shit, $50. Thanks for all your posts throughout the year. I literally watch your videos before purchasing bourbon. My palate is really similar. Keep up the good work. John Williams, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. That's what it's about. If your palate lines up with a specific reviewer, that's what you need. That's what you need to connect with. Daniel Wood says OH, IO, buddy. We'll see how they do. Q looks dark. Yeah, Q is really good. So, all right. So I'm going to keep L. L was on the fringe. I think I'm going to keep that towards the back here. As far as the rest, B, Q, P, and J are still on top. I think L is going to be kind of the latter portion of this specific lineup here. Master Drum got many picks lined up for 2025, says Dennis. Dude, Dennis, we already have 20 something barrels lined up for 2025. 2 Russell's reserve picks, Corbin Cash pick. A bunch we did with MGP. We did a couple Remuses, Rossville Unions. We did a couple Penelopes as well. An Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which is the greatest Elijah Craig Barrel Proof single barrel pick I've ever tasted. And it's ours. It literally tastes like drinking Luxardo cherry syrup from the jar. It is ridiculously good. That one's coming out. We did a Larceny Barrel Proof pick as well from the Deatsville warehouses out there in Kentucky. So those are kind of have a cult following. What else do we have coming along? We have a Knob Creek pick in the mix coming soon. We have 2 Driftless Glens coming as well. A rye that is freaking fantastic. A bourbon on top of that. We got a lot of stuff coming. Matt Robinson, thanks for your helpful reviews, refreshingly honesty, and clear tasting notes. Good luck with 100,000 subscribers this year. Thanks so much, Matt. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, a Deatsville Larceny for sure. Yeah, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof barrel that we have coming for our group is, I'm calling it Fuxardo cherry syrup because it fucks. It's so good. And it tastes like Luxardo cherry syrup, so I feel like it's the perfect name. So that's what we're going to go with. All right. Joe Kokoska says, send that 4-gate this way, and I'll share it with our shared accountant, Roger W. Oh, there you go. There you go. Todd Ritter. Todd Ritter was on the pick with us, and he says, that's the truth. The ECBP is nuts. Todd Ritter has one of the best palates in the whiskey world. He does the Bourbon Road podcast. If you guys have not listened to it, Todd Ritter has an amazing palate, and he knows how good that ECBP is, and he did it with us. So he knows how good that pick is. It's going to be bananas when that pick comes out. It is so good. So, all right. Let's start narrowing this down, guys. Call it a night. Eric Farrar says that name is dumb as Fuxardo. It is dumb, but it's fun. It's Fuxardo Cherry. That's what we're going to call it. I don't know when it's going to be ready, to be honest. Heaven Hill takes a good amount of time, so we'll see. Man, I like J. All of these are just incredible. Q. I think I like P over Q. Do I like P over B, though? Oh, shit, the Bourbon Jerk is here. Driftless Glens are annual faves now. What's up, man? Nice to see you, Bourbon Jerk. Fuxardo, yeah. Dylan Quay, holy shit, $99 super chat. I'm not sure who said you were boring, but most people resonate with someone honest who knows their stuff. Connect with their review as well. Stay true to the cheers, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, I get boring sometimes, but I get it. I don't have like someone else to go against with and kind of talk to, and I get that part of it. I'm more informational, educational, and I'm happy with that. That's where I live. That's my zone. So I appreciate the super chat, man. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Dylan. That's amazing. Thank you so much, man. Happy New Year, guys. Raconteur top 3. Raconteur could be in here. This is tough. So between B, P, Q, J, I, and L, these are all insanely good rye whiskeys this year. God, B is so incredibly rich and dense. Here's the thing. I don't think B has a very high proof to it. But the flavors in B they just go and they resonate and they stay. Wow. I said from the beginning how good B was, and B just keeps bringing flavor and richness and intensity to the palate. You just seem like a genuine person that just blew up Blue Run. I'm just saying, I always tell it like it is. I think I got that from my mom. She always tells it like it is. And I just, yeah, if I say bullshit, I'm going to call it out, man. And look, I get bottles from distillers. They send me stuff. They want my opinion. But if it's shit, I'm going to tell you it's shit. So if there's anything you guys can know that you're going to get from the Master Drum, it's going to be an honest review. Straight up. And it was funny too, because we were talking about this in our Discord chat. If there was any time that I was slightly, I'm not going to say I was dishonest, but I was really trying to hold back. It was when Jackie Zykin was on and we were talking about Hidden Barn, her first release. And I was like, how do I navigate this? Because it wasn't great. And that's probably an understatement. But yeah, that was probably the only time I was a little dishonest. Blue Run is shit. That's the New Yorker. Best way to be. I hate bullshitters. I want a t-shirt that says, if you come here for sunshine and rainbows up your butt, you came to the wrong place. Field of Dreams, yeah, a little bit too. Field of Dreams is a young whiskey. I like their concept though. I think it's really cool, but that whiskey needs to get older. And I kept reiterating that in the live, because I'm like, okay, we're at a point here where you guys need to make this older whiskey. The collectability thing is cool, but it needs to get older because right now it's really young tasting, unfortunately. Oh my god. And people say I'm too honest. Love you, Jay. Thanks, man. All right. Last tasting here, and then we're going to reveal what we have. Let's go. Yeah, and some people will tell me, JG, to your point, that it's like, can you be an asshole? Like, don't hold back on these distiller. Listen, you have people in the industry. It's you don't want to be too much of a jerk. You have people in the industry that are really good people, and you want to make sure that you keep up those relationships no matter what. You could be kind without being too much of an asshole. You just, it's one of those things where you kind of have to just walk that line a little bit sometimes. I understand that people want like that drama, and they want people to call people out for either doing something shitty or doing something that's dishonest. And I get that part. I think I'm a little bit more comfortable to do that with Blue Run, obviously. But as far as like anybody else, if I see that you're being disingenuous, I don't know. For some reason, I could kind of just figure that out pretty quickly. So I've always kind of focused on that. If I'm going to do reviews, if people, and listen, I'll tell you guys straight up, I've gotten approached by different whiskey brands and they've said, hey, do this review. But I've said, look, if it's a shitty whiskey, I'm going to tell you it's a shitty whiskey. And they've kind of backed out to that fact because they don't want me to be too honest. But, it is what it is. 193 entries. Holy shit. You strike a perfect balance of honesty and respectful. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. The Prideful Goat, 8 years a hitter. Yeah, Kenneth, I think that's one of them is in here. We know the keywords exactly, Benjamin. All right. BPQJIL. I think this could be the final lineup. I'm just going to taste the top three just one more time, just to make sure that they're landing where they're landing. 431 hanging out in the chat tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Appreciate you. Man, P is really good. I'm really between B and P right now. BP, the gas station. You're just messing with me. And Q. Q is a different animal between B and P. It's a different flavor profile, but it's so good, so spicy, so rich. Yeah, hit the thumbs up while you're hanging out. Thank you guys so much. As far as L, I, and J, can they crack the top three? J is really good. J is the one that I actually might prefer over Q a little bit. Yeah, maybe. I think I do. J just seems more developed. I and L, I think, belong where they belong. I think we're good, guys. Bourbon Jerk, curious where Exodus 2 lands. Low-key banger. Yeah. Look for the higher register when JCC is uncertain. Yeah, I kind of go higher register. All right, I think I got it. I think we're set, guys. I'm going to taste B and P again, but these are my top two right here, and they're close. So let's see what my top rye of 2024 is. I was told that my final results are in the Z-Biotics box. Shameless plug. Oh, so it's going to be crazy. Okay. So first, let's go to the ones that were eliminated off the bat. So the ones that were in the bottom tier that that didn't even really get close to the top tier. So let's see what we got. So I'm going to put these in letter order. So we have A, H, F, G. What's this letter here? Okay, I did not like it all. That one's getting last. All right. So letter K, that was the one I did not like at all. K is... Yeah, I get it. K is the... E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye. This is one of the worst releases Barrel Buffalo Trace has ever done. Oh my God. Okay. Holy shit. E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye by E.H. Taylor. It's awful. Don't buy it. Dude. The straight rye is better than the Barrel Proof Rye. Oh my gosh. Good night. Don't chase it. Don't buy it. If anyone on secondary is trying to sell that bottle for like $800 or more, dude, go scratch. That's terrible. That is not worth anything more than retail. I don't even think it's worth retail. That's pretty bad. Okay. So that's K. Let's go to letter M. Letter M is... Shit, no way. Letter M is the... The Michter's Barrel Strength Rye for 2024. Goes off the reservation here. The Michter's. So I gave this initially... Letter M, I gave it a 6, just a straight up 6. This is probably one of the more less layered Michter's barrel strength ryes that I've seen. That's a surprise to me for sure, but it's just not as layered in flavor as it's been in recent years. So that one gets out. Crazy. All right, so let me cross these out here. Michter's barrel strength. E.H. Taylor. The H. Taylor is crazy. Okay. O is the... Okay. This is kind of surprising, but not surprising. The Old Overholt 11-year. Old Overholt 11-year cask strength from Jim Beam. Good rye. Good flavors. But I think that it just doesn't hold up to some of these other ones. Somebody in the chat had said that they like the 10-year-old, the 11-year. Maybe that's what happened with this one. It just kind of got a little bit too tame for me from what I wrote down. So the 11-year cask strength. Okay. G was the other one that I remember. I said it was super floral, and I guessed that it was the A Overholt, which was super floral and probably a Monongahela rye. So G is... Got to turn it around here. Nailed it. G is the A Overholt straight rye whiskey from Jim Beam. I actually really like this release from 2024. It's different. It's unique. It's a great price point. But I think in a blind tasting, it really stands out. It's very perfumey. It's very rye forward, very floral. If you like that, so if you're a fan of the old Potreros, I think this is where that kind of lines up. Waiting on pins and needles for deliver my turkey M&J pick tonight. TCT, hope you get it, man. I love the Michter's barrel strength rye. That's shocking. Maybe too sweet for you to stand out in the blind. Maybe, Matt. Any releases you're looking forward to in 2025? We'll get into that here in a bit, Brandon. For anyone just joining, every $5 we're going to put you in a Master Journey 4-gate pick. You know what? Whiskey Uncensored, because there are so many generous super chats tonight, I'm going to give away 2 of them. We're going to do 2 4-gate, 2 of the 4-gate double oaked 4 Roses bourbons tonight. We're going to give away. So stay tuned. All right. It surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me that was in it because it really did stick out. All right. Letter F. Letter F. Wow. That's surprising. I thought letter F would actually make it further. Letter F goes to the Raconteur Rye from Rare Bird and the Bourbon Collective. Still a ridiculously good rye whiskey. I just think against these others, it just kind of fell flat a little bit. But yeah, really good stuff. Is there any fan base for Old Potrero? I think there is. Whiskey No says, wow, I was wrong. Yeah, this is a surprise. I thought this was in the top, but it's not. This Raconteur Rye, I think, is absolutely a great whiskey, but I think in the midst of the blind, it just fell short, unfortunately. Holy crap. That's probably my biggest surprise right now. Honestly, guys, I didn't think the Colonel E.H. Taylor was going to do very well. All right, so that was F. Let's go to H. H goes to the Evernorth Arctic Spirit. So the guys, the Bourbon Junkies, Dan and Sean. H goes to the Evernorth Arctic Spirit. Love this rye. Port, ruby cask finished, ruby port, and ruby and I think it's both ports, right? Yeah, tawny and ruby port finished. Love this rye whiskey. I think it's actually great. This could be probably a Midwinter's Nights dram killer, but against these others, it just didn't have the age and the richness for it. But very good rye whiskey coming out of Evernorth whiskey. That's why I put it in this blind tasting, because it's really good. So if anybody got a chance to get this Arctic rye, the labels that these guys do are incredible too. So, all right. All right, so that the last one is letter A. Letter A is that was the first one we tried way back when. And it is the Knob Creek 10-year rye. Knob Creek 10-year rye at 100 proof. I think just falls short because of the proof point, to be honest. Really good rye. I just think probably the proof point hurt it a little bit. So, Jay, do you have a phone ready nearby? Ask you a question. Oh, let me see. Should I give entries for the guy who donated 10 channel membership? Yes, please. For sure. All right, we'll get there. All right. So Knob Creek 10-year rye comes in on the low tier as well, unfortunately. So, but that means the Evernorth Exodus is still in the mix. So we'll see how that does. All right, so that's the first kind of the bottom tier of where we were at, and the most surprising one of that lower tier, I think, is the Raconteur Rye, because I really enjoy that rye. So let's go to the second lower tier here, which is letter D, E. We know one of them is the Bardstown Amroot, which I didn't even realize that was a straight rye whiskey. So we know the Bardstown Amroot is in there. That's kind of on the lower tier. But what else is here? We have letter N. Letter N is let's see here. Wait, that's not the side I need. Okay. So letter N goes to the... Wow. Really? This might be the biggest surprise. The Little Book. Little Book, The Path Not Taken, which I think is a rye, kind of qualifies as a rye, goes to letter N. Holy shit. This is getting crazy. I don't even know who's going to win this right now. Wow. Yeah, poor shoring for Beam tonight. I see that. Yeah. I actually thought this could be the winner. This was kind of my favorite going into it. And the fact that this ended up in kind of the second tier is very surprising. Okay. This is why you do blinds. Next up is letter C. Letter C goes to one of my favorite ryes this year, guys. This is an incredible rye. Love it. It's the Pursuit United Double Oaked. Pursuit United, what they are doing with their double oak ryes is absolutely incredible. Love this rye. Kind of hit a mid-tier here, but really, really good. I think, again, being at 107 proof, 108 proof, kind of gets to the crux of where this lands. But this is probably the best whiskey that Pursuit Spirits has created. If you guys have not had a double oaked rye from Pursuit Spirits, I would highly recommend grabbing one. Okay. We go to E. E is the Jack Daniels. E is the Jack Daniels twice barreled rye. There you go. I'm telling you, Jack Daniels with their rye whiskeys, incredible stuff. I'm hoping to see more. What I want to see is a Jack Daniels Coy Hill rye, like special release, because I've had a couple of single barrels from Jack Daniels from the Coy Hill warehouses that are incredible. So hoping to see more of that. Okay. And lastly, letter D. That was right on the fringe. Letter D Let's see here. Letter D is okay. Letter D is the Hard Truth Mega Finish. The Mega Finish is the Hard Truth Mega Finish here. So the Hard Truth one is finished in Cognac, Sauternes, PX, and PX brandy casks. That's what's in this this Hard Truth one. It is freaking delicious. So if you guys have not tried this one, I don't really know how available this one is, but this Hard Truth bottle is freaking delicious. So go grab one if you can. Hard Truth is killing it. So great whiskey. All right. Now we get to our top tier. Here we go. This is where we're at. Letter L. Right on the cusp. Letter L goes to... This is crazy. This is getting crazy, guys. The Sagamore 9-year. Love your channel, the community you've created on Patreon, Discord, and your single barrel picks. Cheers. Thank you so much. Ian InkJS. Thank you so much. Exodus still in it, baby. It is. Sagamore 9-year gets the L spot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6th place goes to the Sagamore 9-year. Sagamore 8-year won for me last year. So Sagamore 9-year coming in 6th. A bit of a surprise. But Sagamore 9-year is a beast. This is probably a bottle you guys could probably still go find. So I would highly recommend going to find a Sagamore 9-year because it is delicious rye whiskey. 477 watching right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. All right. We're getting down to it. Next one is letter I. Letter I goes to... Really? The Still Austin Madeira finished rye whiskey. Dude, look how dark this shit is. So, I think the issue with this is that it has such a heavy finish. It almost comes off smoky. It comes off nutty. Dude, Whiskey Nose called it out. Oh my gosh. That is so ridiculously good. The problem with this bottle is I think it was a distillery only release. So you really can't get it. But on top of that, this was an incredible... Still Austin this year in 2024. Well, I know it's 2025, but last year, technically, has had an incredible year. That Tanager, this, some of the other finishes they've done, incredible. So, there you go. Texas coming out with the dark whiskey. All right, here we go. Top 4. Letter Q, I think, which was on the cusp. Let me see here. Wow. I'm just kind of looking at the the thing here. Holy shit. Letter Q. Wow. Wow. This is insane. These results are nuts. Okay. This is awesome. Okay. Letter Q goes to I thought this one was going to win it. The Two Souls Spirits double-barreled Pumpernickel rye from Middle West Spirits. So, Two Souls is an NDP. They source different whiskeys. So they sourced Pumpernickel rye from Middle West Spirits right here in Columbus. They double oaked it, double barreled it, and came up with this thing. This thing is insane. Holy crap. The Two Soul Spirits double barrel Pumpernickel rye comes in here and in 4th place. Holy shit. Unfortunately, so here's the thing with this bottle. It's gone. They didn't make any more of these. I did my video on this bottle and it's sold out. It's gone. Unfortunately. Holy shit. This is one of my favorite ryes that has come out. And it's also a testament to what Middle West is doing here in Columbus, Ohio. If you guys have not tasted anything from Middle West, especially the ryes, the Pumpernickel ryes, you are missing out on some of the best rye whiskeys that are out there. So, just saying. So that means we're down to the top 3. Holy shit. Top 3 goes to letter J is... Dude. Where are you? The Prideful Goat 8-year cask strength rye whiskey. This is a beast of a rye whiskey. Prideful Goat absolutely killed it this year with this 8-year iteration. I absolutely love it. I thought it would do really well in the blind tasting, and it did. To freaking nail 3rd place, this thing is it's incredible. It's an absolute beast. High proof, big flavor. Holy shit. Incredible. So absolutely love the Prideful Goat 8-year. Great job. Everybody over there, including Randy, that's been kind of taking over Prideful Goat. It's incredible. That means the top 2 belong to Evernorth with the Exodus 2 and Michter's 10-year. Michter's 10-year barrel, well, not the barrel strength, but the Michter's 10-year single barrel rye. So let's see which one is which. We have B and P. P belongs to... Dude. Shout out to Randy and team. Yeah, Randy and team. Great job on that one. Here we go, guys. Number 1 and 2 for 2024 from the Master Drum. You have number 1 and number 2. Happy holidays. I wish you a great 2025. Thank you so much, Keith Casey Weld. Well done, junkies. Number 2 is the Exodus. Number 2, which means number 1, the Master Drum Rye Whiskey of the Year 2024 goes to the Michter's 10-year single barrel rye whiskey. I did not think the Michters would get this high of a grade because it's such a low proof, but the flavors in this Michter's barrel strength rye this year are incredible. Wow. So this, if you guys want to know what single barrel this is 24. I'm going to need to put my flashlight on it, guys. Sorry. Hold on one second. Flashlight. 24C. Is that a C? 24C 1685, I believe. 24C 1685. So my rye whiskey of the year goes to that Michter's 10-year single barrel rye. Honestly, guys, this is probably older than 10 years old. This is probably like a 12, 13, 14-year-old rye whiskey, knowing how Michter's does their shit. This is crazy. The Evernorth was sourced from Sagamore. The Evernorth is a 6-year. This is a 6-year rye, and it fucking came in like a wrecking ball. Dude. I threw this one in because I really was impressed with the flavor profile. Did I think it would do this well? No. So the junkies, obviously sourcing some incredible rye. Yeah, it's a straight rye. It's all Sagamore. It is a 50. This is 52% rye, 43% corn, 5% malted barley. So that's the mash bill on the Sagamore rye that the junkies had put out. Sagamore beating out the 9-year Sag beating out the 9-year Sag. Yeah, 6-year Sag beating out the 9-year Sag. That's crazy. But look at the color difference actually. Here, if you kind of look at it here. So actually, let me go back to it. So the Sagamore 9-year was L. Okay. So P was the Evernorth, and L was the Sagamore, which is right here. So if you compare both of them, I mean, they're really close on the nose. The Exodus, it's darker. There's a little bit of like a dark fruit note to it. Dude, these are my top 2 for 2024. The Michter's 2024 this year is insane. I know there's single barrels. I know they will probably vary, but the single barrel that I have is incredible. Found a 10-year Michter's Rye in a store near Party Source a month ago on the shelf for $170. Pretty happy to have that, even more so now. Sagamore is found extremely difficult to find that their 9-year or sherry. The sherry they only release very intermittently. So Dylan, you're gonna have to kind of wait on that one. Exodus Rye is a blend of ryes. Yeah, it doesn't say blend, it just says 6-year. Sagamore, and then it gives the mash bill. It doesn't say blend of ryes, but this shit is incredible. Good job, says JG. Can you still get the Exodus? I'm not sure. I'm probably certain most of the things that Dan and Sean put out sell out, but that is an incredible rye whiskey. But this Michter's 10-year for 2024 is special. Most years, I am not super impressed by the Michter's 10-year barrel strength rye. But this year, or I should say 2024, this thing is layered. It's rich. It's dense. It's dark. It's incredible. So, Michter's 10-year single barrel rye. Oh my God, I got the hiccups so bad. Incredible. So when you coming out with your bottle, says Ralph Handy. I don't know. Probably we'll see. More to come on that. I'm at the mercy of the lawyers, guys. I can't say too much about it, but hopefully in January I'll be able to kind of let everything loose and let you guys know exactly what I'm working on. But I can tell you this. What I'm working on is going to be painstakingly annoyingly detailed and to the point where I'm probably going to drive myself nuts because I want to try to make like the best whiskey I can. So, but we'll get there probably sooner than later, guys. So keep an eye out for the drum key. Drum key whiskey is going to be a thing. We'll probably see it here in 2025, and I cannot wait to create some of these whiskeys for you guys. So we'll get there. After watching this, I may have to expand my rye collection. Love the Sagamore and Middle West rye. So here's the kind of the takeaway from this, guys. Middle West Pumpernickel rye here in Columbus, Ohio, is some of the best rye whiskeys being produced right now. Michter's, I know it's expensive and I know it's hard to get, but the Michter's, there's no denying how good the Michter's barrel strength rye was this year. If you have a chance to check out what Dan and Sean are doing with their mash bill from Sagamore, yeah, they're sourcing it, but the sourcing stuff that they're getting is really, really delicious. And that Exodus rye is a good indication of that. And as far as like, so Prideful Goat, which is MGP, Jack Daniels is always going to be putting out some great whiskeys, but there are some incredible rye whiskeys that have been on the horizon, especially not only 2024, but I think we'll see more in 2025 here. So, Robert Schmier, will your whiskey be distributed to Nevada? Yeah, think it should be. Did I say 10 year? I'm sorry if I didn't say. Jason, can you do a quick compare of the Exodus 1 against the number 2 release. I actually don't have number 1, which is surprising, Whiskey Nose. I don't have Exodus 1. I just had the 2. But everybody was telling me how good the 2 is, so I grabbed it, and here it is. Grabbing the number 2 slot. That means, are you ever going to have the podcast guys over to your channel, Millie Villanueva? You mean the Bourbon Hunters guys? Is that what you're talking about? Exodus 1 is a vanilla bomb, says the Bourbon Jerk. Okay. Number 2 here is more of a fruit forward Sagamore type of flavor profile, which I really like. And it's very rich and dense, which is, also what I look for. So, but the Michter's 10-year takes the crown. Michter's 10-year single barrel rye. First time ever that this rye gets number 1. Absolutely amazing. So, if anybody was lucky enough to grab this bottle, it is so good this year. The proof isn't super high, but the flavors are ridiculous. They're dense, they're rich, they're so good. So there you go. Yeah, Manny, eventually I'll get those guys on. I'm on their podcast all the time. So, all right. So what do we do here? What do we have left? All right. So who's going to win the 4-gate? So Ben, let me know who's going to win or how many entries we have right now, Ben. And then I will pick a number and figure out who's going to win that. So, Ben, how many entries do we have, buddy? Who's going to win the 4-gate? We're going to give away 2 tonight. So, fuck that. We're doing 2. We got so many really great super chats tonight. We're doing it. Let's see here. Can't go wrong with the Michters. Jason, did you pick up the Scarlet Shade? Did not get that, Terrence. Michter's 10 must be a beast because at that proof. Yeah. Kino, see, I just think it's so layered at the proof point. It reminds me of kind of the experience that we had with the Michter's 10-year bourbon last year, which was actually 14 and a half years old. So I'm thinking that rye is way older than the 10-year label would indicate. Let's just run it, Ben. Here we go. Let's run it. What do we got? All right, we're good to go here. All right, perfect. 227 entries. Holy shit. Let's pick a number. All right. You know what, Ben? I'm going to put it on you, buddy, for doing all the hard work. Pick the first number. Don't even look at the names. Just pick a number from 1 to 227. What do we got? Forlorn Hope. Got to ask. You like that? Tried warning you? Yeah, the Falcons. Listen, I'm actually really excited about Penix. So, unfortunately, their coach fucked up with the timeouts over the weekend, and we're probably going to miss the playoffs because of it. But Penix is amazing. Here's the thing with Kirk Cousins. He played amazing for like 6 games, and then he just dropped off a cliff. I don't know what happened. Did his wife deny sex? What happened to him? It was insane. He went from like slinging the ball over the field to falling off a cliff. I don't know what happened. I can't do that. I'm looking at the sheet, dude. Okay. All right, so let me pick the first. You know what? I'll rely on the Google machine here. Here we go. Pick a number between 1 and 227. The first number that has come out, Bourbon, is 160. So, Bourbon, who wins the first 4-gate single barrel here? All right, what do you got, Ben, for 160? The barrel entry proof is so low, they aren't adding much water, especially considering what other distillers are coming out at. Yeah, Terrence, I just think that it's certain expressions that Michter's puts out, even at a lower proof, the flavor profile is extremely dense and delicious. So, there you go. Yeah. Rob D, I could share the... So, Paul, it's not just about the the rye content. It's about how dense the flavor profile is. It's incredible. Michael Barakas, will your juice be available on Seal Box? Nope, it will not be available on Seal Box. But I will let you know where it's going to be available once it's ready to go. All right, Ben, 160. Where we got the great composer of Star Wars music, John Williams. John Williams, you win the first bottle of my 4-gate pick, the double oaked Schmores, as we call it. 8 years, 9 months old, double oaked. Congratulations, John. Well done, John Williams. The Blue Run pick will not be on Seal Box. The Blue Run pick will be in the toilet. Mash and Drum whiskey better delivered to Arizona. It will, Aaron. You're good to go, man. Is John Williams here? Is John Williams in the chat? Where is he? Bourbon Sauce Podcast. Love your content. We'll love to do a collab with you at some point, even if you're... Listen, I'm not a Buckeye fan. I was indoctrinated. You kind of get indoctrinated with the whole Buckeye thing once you move to Columbus, Ohio. I grew up in New York. I don't have like a connection to college football. I root for the Buckeyes because my girlfriend Kim, who's the best person I've ever met in my life, she went to Ohio State. She's a huge Buckeye fan. So I root for the Buckeyes. So there you go. Is John Williams here? Where is he? John Williams. I don't see him. Well, we'll kind of re-randomize and ready to go. He's off composing something, says Kraken. Well, did Abandoned Bourbon not let you use Seal Box? All right, John Williams will kind of write down as the first one. So anybody who wins, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com. Again, themashanddrum@gmail.com. Make sure you include themashanddrum@gmail.com and reach out to me to claim your bottle so I could send it to you. I need your address and all that other fun stuff. Okay. Will the real John Williams please stand up? So we'll pick two more in case John is asleep or some shit. All right. Next number I'm going to pick. Yeah, he might have done a $50 super chat. So I hope he's around. Okay. So next one I'm going to pick is number... Let's do one of my favorite numbers. 23. 23. Is John back? He's here. John Williams, there you are, buddy. John, you won. John, you won one of the 4-gate bottles. So John, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com. Again, themashanddrum@gmail.com. Send me your address and a little note, and I will send you your bottle immediately. So congratulations, John. All right, next one up, number 23. Who do we got, Bourbon? John was like freaking making late night dinner or some shit. And he's like, oh, crap, I won. And he came running. All right, who do we got? I'm talking with John right now. He's my partner. There he is. All right, Bourbon, who do we got? Who is number 23? 23 gets the Scottie Pippen bottle. John Williams go blue. Pontiac to be exact. Who do we got? Dwayne Hawkins. Congratulations, Dwayne. Dwayne Hawkins, you win the second bottle of the 4-gate pick that we selected. I hope Dwayne is in the chat. Dwayne, are you here, buddy? Dwayne, if you are here, congratulations, man. Congrats. Make sure you email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com, and I will definitely get you your bottle sent out. I need your address. I need all the things, but congrats to Dwayne. That's a great name. It really is. Dwayne Hawkins. That's like some kind of like 5-star football recruit name. That's awesome. Dwayne the Boulder Hawkins. I love it. Congratulations, guys. John says, I'm definitely here. Guess I'm delayed. Yep, above. There he is. He's here. Dwayne Hawkins is here. Dwayne, congratulations, buddy. You win the second bottle, the 4-gate double oaked schmozes, as we call it. Again, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com and I will get your bottle ordered. Congratulations, guys. I appreciate it. And what can I say? A hell of a blind lineup tonight, guys. Some surprises, some disappointments. E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye sucks. Just saying, it is what it is. But the Michter's 10-year rye this year, or 2024, has been incredible. The Exodus number 2 rye from the Bourbon Junkies over at Evernorth Spirits gets second place. Third place goes to, what was letter J? Letter J was the Prideful Goat. The Prideful Goat 8-year cast strength rye. That might be one you guys want to check out. The Sagamore 9-year rye whiskey might be one you want to check out as well. Just some incredible rye whiskeys here in 2024. So incredible showing, great year. Keep tuning in for my bourbon of the years my bourbons of the years. My bourbons of the year for 2024. I'm going to be doing some blind tastings, especially if you're a member of my Patreon streams. I'm going to be doing some exclusive only Patreon streams of me doing my top bourbons of 2024. You guys will get to see that before anybody else. And then after that, we have some really cool videos coming out. I have my top $35 and under bourbons coming out. And some other fun ideas I have to help me get to 100,000 subscribers. So, fun stream, Mike B. Thank you so much. What can I say? I love you guys. Thanks so much for the support, especially tonight, kind of being an off night. I will be live again next week on my regular time on Wednesday night. We have a huge bracket in store for Glenaganon. Some of the past champions, Darrell Stewart, who won last year, is going to be going against a previous champion, Eric Sawyer, and a couple of other heavy hitters. Plus, we will be doing trying some samples from a couple of other great distillers that I have not tried a lot of whiskey from. So a lot of great stuff coming here in 2025. So Evernorth, congratulations. Michter's, congratulations. Prideful Goat, congratulations. And everybody else that was in the mix tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share with. I will talk to you guys here next week on Wednesday night at my regular time. Love all of you. Thanks for tuning in. Happy New Year. And we'll see you next week right here on the Master and Drum. Cheers, guys.